One Oldwolf's here.
How you doing?
I'm waiting for everybody to hop on. They're supposed to want to hop on. If they don't hop on, you're going to see a bald-headed guy with a beard and some glasses. Yeah, I have a job. I provide.
Did Perry just pay $10 to see me dance?
Yeah. I have a job.
How you doing?
When you see the train wreck, it's just me, right?
Yeah.
It's just the way I do it.
How you doing?
You realize my wife's gonna disown me, right?
See ya. Hold on. Not yet. See ya.
How you doing? It's that time again for the train wreck. Almost every Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I hop on, I show what I picked up, and then if anybody wants to hop on afterwards, we all sit around and talk about but nothing. You know, what are you gonna do? Maybe have a few beverages. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So thanks for watching. And on the rewind, thanks for watching. If you like what you see and you haven't yet, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. You know, don't cost you nothing. So salute. Okay, so let me do that. I got my books. Not too many. Not a little, but not too many. I got my bling bling, which I got to keep. It's a new phone, and I got to put the freaking code in all the time. And look at that puppy. Got my bags and boards. Yes, I said it right. Okay. All right. Why is it so dark in here? It doesn't matter. All right. Let's see what I picked up this week. I hope everyone got their books first. So and let's stop picking. Let's do this. I only picked up 2 Marvels. Excuse me. Now the first one I picked up was just a cover buy because I thought it was so cool. Avengers 27. You got Perry the Platypus and the OWCA. Organization without a cool acronym. Dude, it's the whole team. You're not seeing it. Okay. And I looked through the book. I know it's 27. I wasn't impressed with it. I didn't read it. It looks kind of stupid, actually. But the cover looks cool. So I picked it up. Let's see if this thing will work. Oh, it didn't make the sound. Let's clear it. Let's do that again. You got to make the sound. There you go. Hey, look. Come on. It's awesome. And it's a big, you know, they brought back Phineas Ferb. They get all new shows. Next one, Wolverine number 10. It's one of the few Marvel books I'm actually picking up. I'm enjoying it. I like the Ultimate Wolverine better. But in this one, he's going back to his home. You know, they're bringing, you know, Sabretooth in this one supposedly. There's a surprise person in this one also because he's going back to his family home, and he finds somebody there he didn't expect to see there. So it looks like there's ghosts and stuff in this. Oh jeez. But yeah, I know who I know who he's gonna see there. So I don't want to ruin to you. It's I'll tell you next week. Or if you're getting the book, you don't want me to tell you anyways, right? But like I said, this is one of the few books I'm getting from Marvel. I mean, I didn't read it, and just by looking at it, I don't want to read it. So if I'm wrong, let me know. And to do so, you need to comment like down below. And since I'm being honest, you can give me a thumbs up. All right, that's it. Next one, it's a few a few. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Are you reading Avengers at all? Because I'm saying just by looking at it, I wasn't interested in even reading it. So, but I did buy it for the cool cover. That is cool. Now I'm doing DC here. This is Nightwing number 127. This one, I keep saying I'm on the fence, and I'm really gonna. I think I might just fall off the fence on this one because, I don't know if I read last month's, but what is that? I don't even understand what the hell that is, and he's gonna walk into it. I don't know what this is. I really don't. I really don't know what this is. I don't know if I want to continue this. So I might be taking this off my list. So I'll read it. I still don't know what the hell it is, though. Next one I picked up from DC, World's Finest. It is. I mean, it's still. This is, I guess, it's short. It's like World's Finest, a little mini series, like boom, 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 boom. So that's why I keep reading it. But again, if this starts going sideways too, I have no problem getting rid of it. But as of now, it still entertains me. So. Sweet. Oh, how come this is like this? That's weird. Must be a bag I reused. Okay. Put that aside. Now, the next two are the same book, and they were bagged, and they're facsimiles. So I don't know why they were bagged. So I got two of these. I'm assuming this is Introducing Crypto. All right. So Introducing Crypto in Avengers Comics number 210. So I thought I'd keep one bagged, and I would open up the second one. So let me bling these things because they're reprints. Well, I'll just bling it again, right? Did I confuse it? I must have confused it. Anyways, so this one I'll keep. In the bag. This one, I'm going to open it up to see why the hell it's bagged. Okay. Let's find out why this is bagged. Okay. Okay, Crypto's Golden Biscuit Sweepstakes. All right. Win an opportunity to attend the world premiere of director James Gunn's Superman, taking place in Los Angeles. Sorry, you didn't win. Duh. Small print. Excuse me. But use the code BISCUIT at dcuniverseinfinity.com/join/biscuit for a 30-day free trial to DC Universe's Infinity whatever monthly ultra tier. Auto renewal and other terms apply. Not intended for children. Okay, so it's just a ploy to make you join something. Pretty good. I wouldn't go anyways. Unless they're going to give me airfare a Uber or something, a car, place to stay, I wouldn't go anyways, right? So sorry, I didn't win. Okay. Let's see if I can make this work again. Yeah, it's confused. I probably got 5 of them now. Right. So if anybody wants, I got one still in the bag. If you guys want a chance, let me know. I'll sell it to you for like $20. That's for DC. Now, the rest are independents. So right now we're gonna go right into the. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all image books. Hey, Drew. See? Salute. Both losers. Well, like I said, I wouldn't go anyways. First one, G.I. Joe number 8. Still enjoying the book. I think it's a solid read. But to be honest with you, I'm behind. In number 8, number 7 is there. Haven't read number 7. So, but I was really behind in my reading. And I took this much and brought it down to this much. So I'm getting there. Oh, cool. I feel the same way about a lot of books. A lot of facsimiles I've been getting. I'm not getting the real one, so I can live with the facsimile. It's not like I'm going to sell it anyway. The next 4 is just cover. It just actually reprints. Okay. I got G.I. Joe number 5, second printings. I pick them up. I just enjoy the white background, their symbol, and the character that goes with the symbol. That's why I've been picking them up. Don't have all of them. If I miss them, I miss them. I'm not going to worry about them. But if they're on the shelf, I'm going to pick them up. Yeah. And then the next 2 are Transformers number 15. Again, enjoying the idea of the symbol and the character. Yeah, it's like having the real book. You can get the X-ray glasses. They get the same advertisements, the same back cover, the same everything. It's so cool. Why not? Why not just do it? And it's $3.99. It's way cheaper than the price they're giving out for a book that's not as good condition. Oh, well, I didn't shoot him. Well, I an ass. That goes there. I don't remember putting this in a bag. Okay. Next one. Bug Wars, number 5. I think number 6 is the last issue of this. So it's pretty, the idea is pretty cool. And I think he becomes, so that the World Stomper, Lord of the War Dome, the only hope for the survival of humankind, might rise. There you go. So yeah, this is the final issue. I mean, he's got that thing in his chest that give him the powers, but he's like, all the bugs want to kill his brother. He's gonna save the bugs and the brother at the same time. And everybody's gonna be happy. Everybody's gonna survive. But Jason Aaron's is doing a great job writing this thing. I do enjoy it. That's not it. There it is. Boom. Last two of the same book. Exquisite Corpse number 2. You guys been reading? You guys catch up on this one? This is Michael Walsh is doing the writing with Tinian. Art is by, I'm not going to be able to say that last name. Ignazi. Yeah, Ignazi. And Mike Walsh. Okay, cool. All right. Hey, for one night, the 13 colonies can get a bunch of killers and see who wins. Why not, right? Boston, Massachusetts got the lone gunman, man. He's kicking ass, taking names, at least in the last book. So I'm picking this up because Massachusetts all the way. I don't know. We'll find out, won't we now? And I picked up, this is cover A, right? I'm pretty sure this is cover A. And I picked up cover C. Now everybody knows it's the same cover for C and the same card for C. So, and I think there was a second reprint for cover for the first one, and that had a card, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But I'm not playing the game, so I don't give a flying fire truck about the card. Okay. Well, that's nice. Oh, here we go. Here's the card. Pretty boy. How you doing, pretty boy? Skill. You up. Flirt with a target killer. You are now charmed. Killer cannot deal damage to the charmer. Killer loses charmed status if I can't read these things. If damaged by the charmer. Final 2 killers cannot be charmed. Okay. Let's go to the back thing. I don't know if this all fits in the thing, but let's find out. Yeah, it's the same freaking cover. There you go. So I'm going to hit that. It's going to tell me that. Okay. So then I'm going to go. Screw it. I'm not worried about it. So let's see if this all fits in a bag. All right. So does this fit in a bag? Yes. Does this fit in a bag with the back cover? Yes. Does the card fit in the bag? Stick the back card back here. Boom. Boom. Done. Since I get the other book, I don't need to read this one, so I'll just tape this one up. Boom. Done. All right. Now, since that's done, and I have a whopping 2 people here watching me. Oh, shoot me now. All right. Let's go here. Go to YouTube. Oh, that's why the council is going at it. How can I compete with the Council of Comics? All right. Oh, I got a whopping 643 viewers, subscribers. Who can ask for anything more? Okay. No, I want to go. I did that totally wrong. Hold on. I'll get it. Then I hope you're drinking heavily. Let me see. I gotta. Hold on. Boom. I gotta take this. Boom. How you doing? And I gotta take that off because I'm gonna be watching myself over here, and I can't do that. That screws me up. There you go. And now I'm just gonna sit here. Ooh, I got 4 people on now. Sweet. How you doing? Oh, Kenneth. How you doing, Kenneth? How's everything down in Virginia? Hope everybody's sitting back, enjoying the time. I mean, everybody. If you worked. Oh wait, what's today was a holiday too, right? So not everybody worked. I worked. So I worked for a hospital group. Hospitals never close. So and believe it or not, I'm one of those people that they feel is important to the hospital group. Yeah, see, I knew there was stuff going on there. Severe thunderstorms and all that, I win tonight. I think I might be blown up. No, you'll be fine. Oldwolf says you're going to be fine. Oldwolf says you're going to be fine. There you go. I wish you well, dude. Honestly. Hopefully nothing happens. Doo-doo. Yeah, it seems like more and more channels are hopping on Thursdays at 7 o'clock, which is fine. Go for it. Well, I used to get more than 3 people, though. Kenneth's here. Drew's still here, I hope. But I just hope everybody's sipping. I hope everybody's relaxing. It's 7 o'clock on the East Coast. People on the West Coast are still working. Drew, how you doing?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Not much. I'm doing all right.
Man, everybody's going to Heroes. That's what's going on. That starts
right.
tomorrow. So all the North Carolina people are gearing up that are at the show. We're all loading in today. I saw Mark from Legion was setting up earlier. I know Biggie went live earlier this afternoon, and traffic was slow for that show. And New Council's live right now. And they have like 3 viewers, so I think you're beating them.
Oh,
I wouldn't get too beat up about it. I think things are slowing down for the YouTube game right now. It just seems kind of like a lull. I know Jigs hasn't been live in over a week, and FOC and Chill hasn't been on for 2 weeks. So
yeah, he says that he's taking a hiatus.
He's a quitter.
Yeah, there you go.
I told him in the Discord that he let Razor win. I'm hoping if I poke the bear, he'll come out. He'll come out mauling. It is what it is.
Well, I can. You want me to taunt him?
Yeah, taunt him. Do it.
Right, I'm gonna taunt him right now.
I'm just sitting here trying to tape up some bagged and boarded comments.
Oh, so you are a loser.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm hanging out.
Loser.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Call me a loser?
Yeah.
All right.
Loser.
If having dope ass comics makes me a loser, then I'm not the biggest loser around. I can tell you that much.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Hope everything's good over there in the old country.
What kind of tape do you use, Tony?
Scotch.
Oh, cool. I like to use the magic tape.
Oh, yeah, that's
either the green or the purple. The purple's really good, but it's like $1 more.
I take it out of that dispenser and I stick it into here.
Yeah.
But my
I'm big on the pull tabs too. So
yeah.
when
I
I
got- oh, you
take
know
a
what
little
this-
piece of tape, I'll do a little
Yeah, a little flip on it.
fold, little fold.
I picked up on Comics Curing Cancer. I picked up that book with the Hulk cover on there, right?
The art book.
Yeah. So I picked it up yesterday, and I show actually I got it. Oh, why don't I just make you big?
Runaways.
That's not it.
No, you're telling the story.
But anyways, so I got it from DJ Link sent it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. No pull tabs.
No pull tabs.
No pull tabs.
Apparently, DJ Lynx is some sort of Philistine.
Blue tape, of course. That's awesome.
I'm not big on the blue tape. When I get a blue tape, I secretly judge the person who sent me the book.
Well, it's blue tape holding it in the Gemini.
All right, I'm cool with that.
Okay. And then when I took it out, it's got like a backing board on it and the book and the backing board, right? Which is cool. A little more protection. But it's blue tape. No bloody little freaking pull tab on it. Come on.
I don't know what it is about the blue tape that turns me off so much.
It
just
looks
looks
like
it looks trashy. It just looks
it does.
trashy.
It looks like ass to me.
Yeah.
You know, if I turn this around, I like the idea that you don't see something here.
My LCS owner this week gave me a bunch of shit because I always get, whether no matter how many books I pick up, every week I'll get 100 boards and a pack of 50 Mylites every week, regardless, because I'm trying to get all of my boxes uniform.
Okay.
But I like when I look at a box and they're all the same.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you can tell on mine that I use 2 halfbacks and a Silver Age.
Okay.
Right? The standard. Not the modern thin ones. Unless it's a Golden Age book and it needs a Golden Age bag and board, then they all go in the Silver Age.
Uh-huh.
And I was like looking down at my box and them all, like, if one is a different width,
yeah,
it pisses me off. But I'll normally do, because I have a bunch of the modern size boards, because I'll take them out of the shitty poly bags, and what I'll do is I'll sandwich one in between the two Silver Age boards in my book. So I got a even thicker backer board, and then when I look down and I see it's a thicker backer board, I know it's a key issue because I put extra protection on it, right? So then I'll look down and I'll be like, oh, that's 3 thick. That's a key issue, and I can pick it right out.
Oh, I never started doing that.
It's just me and my own. You can see the room behind me, and you can tell how much garbage and junk is just kind of strewn about. I got this side poster falling off the wall that I just can't reaffix because of laziness. So it's like I'm not the most organized person, but if you look into my comic boxes, you'd have a different appreciation for my level of monotonous organization and the level of effort I put into that bullshit.
Right.
Oh, once you got me big, this one came up, so I picked that up.
Oh yeah. But that was that was like a what, 125 or
as a ratio, I think it's 150.
Yeah, I couldn't afford that.
He had $25 on it. I did not pay him that much for it.
Yeah.
He's like, that looks nice. You like that, don't you? And I was like, I don't like that $25 price tag.
Yeah.
I whittled him down a little bit.
I sell them by ratio ones because it's just I don't have enough money to just do it.
I got a couple of variants this week, and I'm low on funds, and I shouldn't be spending that kind of money on books. But like, there were a couple that came up that I was like, oh, that's pretty. I passed on. I had the opportunity to get all those 616 variants.
Yeah.
For the 616 day, and I passed on all of them. I mean, the one shop had the X-Men one that I liked only at $20, and I was like, yeah, but $20 is a lot to spend on a variant when I just bought that $20 Emma Frost.
Exactly.
You've been reading Transformers?
Yes. I'm behind on it.
So am I. I'm
was right
probably
behind me.
about, what is it, 21? I'm probably about 10 issues behind on it. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't feel so bad.
It doesn't. I mean, I like it. When Corona took over on the art for Warren Johnson,
Yep.
I thought that it didn't really lose anything at all.
Nope.
But cool. I'm gonna be honest. That's when my reading habits on it slowed down. So I don't know what it is, but I'm definitely gonna go back and start picking it up, because the last thing that I read from it was the Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, but Corona,
which I really enjoyed that too.
I mean, Corona is not. This is not the first time Corona did the drawing for his writing.
No. But Corona's done a lot of stuff with like Scotty Young that I really enjoy.
Yep.
And he did a book called Goners.
Goners.
Yeah, Goners.
Wait a minute. I think.
I have it for sale, so I have it sit right over here. Give me 1 second. I'll pick it up.
Yeah. I was thinking this one.
All right. So who's it? Simon wrote it? I don't even know who the writer is, but he did a series called Garners.
Gotcha. You know what I thought? I don't know if you mentioned this or something, but when you said Garners, that I thought I had it, but I didn't. What I had was Feathers.
He did Feathers too. I really enjoyed that.
I think it was you who talked about it, and that's why I picked it up.
Yeah, the art in that is just really spectacular.
Yeah.
This is like kind of like hunting monsters.
Was that recently?
No, not even really.
Oh, that was cool.
But like, this is like one of my favorite covers. He's just got like this, like a severed head.
Yeah, that is cool.
And it's just like the Jorge Corona style kind of really comes through.
Is that I wonder if they got a trade for that.
I'm sure they do. It's a 6-issue mini. I don't think they did any more of it. But Jorge Corona on the art. And
who did the writing on it?
This is Seman, but I don't know.
Good, you're not the only one.
Look, I'm going to crack it open, do some research real quick here. Oh, this shit's falling over. What happens? You get poly bags; they slide.
Oh, I get whatever I can afford. I wish I could I want this, I want that.
Jacob Simon. In a world where mortals coexist with the mythic, a single family through the ages stands as the first line of defense against all that goes bump in the night. The latest generation has turned the ancestral tradition into profitable brand. They're the family Latimer, and this is the end of their story.
Oh.
Yeah. But like really stylized, cartoony.
Yeah, you can see the Corona in it.
Yeah. It's like a 6-pack of Coronas. 6-issue series. But yeah, it's like a family that's like paranormal monster hunters. Really dope series.
Yeah, I'm trying to find if they actually did a trade for it.
Do you want it? I'll send it to you.
Trade?
I mean, I have it single issues right here. It's going to be on my eBay store. I'll just send me your address. I'll send it to you.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, what am I going to sell it for $6? I'll just give it to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm here. I am making more poor financial decisions.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, you mentioned the Feathers.
Yeah.
And
Did you read it yet?
No, I haven't had a chance to. Well, I'm still behind on that.
But did you flip through it though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a really incredible level of detail on this kind of cartoonish Disney style almost, kind of environment.
Yeah, I mean, I picked it up to read, but I'm like, I'm so behind. It's like not even funny.
Did you read this last week?
I just read that today.
So yeah, I picked up 2 weeks in a row, but this was really good, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited about Bane.
So
Turn into the Hulk,
right.
crush people's skulls. Do more of that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you might. Just at the beginning, he grabs that guy by the head and just turns into mush.
I like when he starts fighting Batman and he's just like everything Batman throws at him. He's like, "Oh, cute."
Yeah,
like,
touch you here, touch you here, touch you here, touch you here. He's like, "Oh, you're all big and bad, you little stuff." Because you're on the road.
Every time Batman attacks, he just like breaks his elbow with like one pressure point, and he's like, "Oh, well, good try, buddy. I like what you did there."
No,
it's not going to work, but like good effort.
So a couple of pages beforehand, is it Pennyworth saying that he knows the guy? He knows who Bane is?
I don't think he so much knows who Bane is. I think he has a idea of what's going on with Arc M, and I think that Arc M is the Joker.
Well, yeah,
I think that like the big power that they're building to is the Joker, and he's more of like a kingpin than he is the Joker, which would be terrible in my opinion. But like, I'm still along for the ride.
But I took a little thing. He was saying that he should have told, I'm assuming, Bruce what to expect because he knows about his friends, and then they had so he had he lost a friend or a group of friends, and then they had a picture of a guy with a patch over his eye, and then like couple panels in, then it was a guy thinner but having like the hood and the tubes. So I was thinking maybe
is Bane is one of his old buddies,
something like that. That's what I took it as.
I think honestly that the Arc M thing is they're going to turn Wayland into Killer Croc, and I think that their thing is like they're creating super villains, whether they're doing it to make villains or they're doing it to have a power source to control governments or whatever the bigger picture is. And I don't think that Alfred knows or Pennyworth knows specifically what Bruce is walking into, but I think that he should have told him that he's lost people to this program the same way that he's going to lose Wayland to this program.
All right.
But you can kind of tell in their communications when he's like, Bruce, you should be higher. And he's like, nope, I've got eyes on something completely different. That Pennyworth kind of has a surprise moment at that. And he doesn't know how deep the well goes.
Right. Because he's sitting on top of a friggin' pipe and he's looking down. It looks like a whole friggin' city down there. I mean, for the most part, it's huge.
Right. I feel like Bruce is like wandering into a minefield. And Pennyworth's idea is, I should have told him I saw a dog taking a shit over there, so he looks out for that pile of shit. Meanwhile, he's trying to avoid these mines. I think Pennyworth is like, I should, as a mentor, prepared him mentally for what he's walking into for a situation with his friend, but he has no clue the span of what he's walking into.
I agree. Right there. I agree. I think that's what it is.
I don't really normally like Scott Snyder's writing.
This is much better.
But I'm really enjoying everything that they're doing here. I think there's been a lot of judgment on the Dragata art, and I think that it's good, if not weird. But I think there's been some really relevant criticism about his panel layouts and how the story unfolds across those panels. And Mark from Legion said something that really stuck with me. He's like, and I think John talked about this as well, where there's a like kind of things that are supposed to be like big bombastic things happen in small panels. So it's like you're not always getting the most out of the things you want to see as the story progresses.
Gotcha.
But overall, I think it's a really good book, and sales numbers can't lie on that.
I'm only out of all the three, not the three, but I'm only getting the three. I'm only getting the Batman, the Superman, and the Wonder Woman. I'm not getting
Flash is good.
Flashy. I'm not getting it. I'm afraid.
I didn't like Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter was weird, so I'll probably read it in trade, but I can't really commit to it.
I'm afraid to fall down that rabbit hole. I'm trying to cut back. I'm trying to control what I pick up, keep a budget. And I'm afraid at any time, because I pick up covers. I picked up 2 of the freaking Superboy. The Avengers, and at any time I could just flip over and buy this many. And I'm trying not to so badly.
I honestly think that this Absolute Universe being the best-selling thing at DC does a disservice to the fact that they're not the best books at DC right now. I think World's Finest, Justice League Unlimited. I think anything that Mark Waid is writing right now is great. I really enjoyed this, but it's more about the New Yen art for me. And I think that there were a few misses in his panels in this, but overall, when that art hits, and that was it watercolor hits with Batman and Robin, I think that it hits hard. So I was happy with that. There's a lot of really good stuff happening in Superman right now, and just because Hush 2 sucks doesn't mean that when Batman reboots it's not going to be better.
I'm disappointed in Batman too.
I mean, they try to sell you on Hush. Hush is one of the, I wouldn't say it's one of the best Batman stories of all time, but it's very popular because the Jim Lee art is so good, and I think he's still amazing, and I've seen him put out a lot of great covers and sketches and commissions over the last couple of years, but Hush 2 is an ugly fucking book. It's just the Jim Lee art does not look like Jim Lee art.
Is it too rushed?
Is it rushed? Is it who's inking it? Is it just that the story's so terrible that
isn't it the same people who did the Hush stuff?
Yeah, but Jeff Loeb hasn't written anything good in a long time.
Yeah, but but Jeff's writing. I thought we were talking about what it looks like, not what it sounds like.
Well, if he's driving the story, he's telling him what to write, So it's like he's telling him what to draw. So maybe that's it.
Maybe
it's just not connecting with. It's not connecting with me on any level.
Yeah,
and for it to be Jim Lee art on Batman in interiors, like I immediately said, sign me up.
Right.
I immediately was like, well, Jeff Loeb can't be that bad.
Not to change the subject. Balu, how you doing? We kind of blew you up here for about 20 minutes.
No problem. I'm off duty tomorrow, so I thought I'd jump in and hang out a bit before I have to go to bed, because it's 1:45 here.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, you're in Portugal.
Yeah. So, at least I'm not in Germany. Otherwise, it'd be 1:45, and it would be impossible.
That's true. So, have you started school yet?
Yeah. We've already done a couple of modules. I'm not sure if I can switch to programming because I have a really hard time figuring. I panic whenever I open the CLI prompt on Packet Tracer. But I seem to be getting the hang of writing commands on Linux. So,
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Small steps, man. Small steps. Find your spot, get you good, and then you step up.
Yeah, it's about figuring out how to do it, and then putting into practice every day, and then once you do it for a little while, figure it out.
Yeah. I still have Plan B going on. I had a job interview with a to write for a car website about a month ago, but the guy never called me after the interview. And the thing is, I told him how much I wanted to make, and he told me how much he could pay me. So we were way off. Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's worth taking a lower paying job that you can enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been out of the game for a while. I'm a car journalist, and I've been in the business for over 20 years. But being in the business for over 20 years is a detriment. Is a detriment now.
I've got a very similar story with what I do, and it's like either when I'm looking for a new job, I'm either vastly over or underqualified for everything I'm applying for. It's like they're like, why would you want to do this, or what makes you think you could do this? Like,
both answers because I want to eat. You know, basically. But yeah,
because I'll show up 6 days a week.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do my best.
Sometimes, but in all reality, sometimes you might have to take a cut and pay just to get your foot in there, and then from there, go. It depends. It depends on you. You know what I'm saying? But
the guy bought a very famous car magazine brand, and and right now he only has the website.
No.
And I think he's mostly using it for clout, which is not necessarily a problem. Because I had some ideas on how to take advantage of what he wanted and what could be done, but since he never called, I didn't get to explore those ideas. But yeah, it could be done. Anyway, I'm still going to try to call my old job back since they were sold a couple of months ago, and see if they're trying to get enlarge the team. So I'd go back to doing motorsports reports.
Do it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I see the guy who bought it. He already has another magazine, but he seems every time I see him on Facebook, he's always somewhere. So I'm pretty sure he needs to enlarge the team, and being one of 3 people in the country who can talk about daily drivers and auto racing. I should do it, but it's always about the money. It's always about the money.
My thought process would be with anything journalism, especially with like a niche subject where you have years of experience and expertise. Wouldn't starting like a blog be your own thing, be a possibility in the meantime, or is it just a daunting?
Completely impossible to monetize the Portuguese language. And I could do it if I had a regular job, and then I would write on my free time, but then I would not be able to take advantage of doing the job because I need time to go to media events, and just there I lose 1 or 2 days, which means I wouldn't be able to have a regular job.
Look, Marcus, I wasn't kind of calling you out. I was totally calling you out. That's it. That's what happened. So, but Paulo, if you don't think that your writing style would translate well to English, or
well, in English it's kind of full. Everybody writes in English,
right?
It would be for the Portuguese market, especially because I'd like to go back to the swing of things and cover the national GT championship. But just writing about Formula One doesn't excite me. Formula One is too pre-formatted. It's like pop. It's like listening to bubblegum pop music.
It's not a broad enough subject to really sink your teeth into.
The thing I've always liked is the Le Mans 24 Hours, which was last weekend. There are a few experts on it, but it doesn't have the same reach in public interest as Formula One does. I used to be the one who wrote about Formula E, which are the electric racing cars.
All right, I wasn't even aware that that's much of a thing.
Yeah, well, they've raced in Miami. The American round was in Miami this year. Last year it was in Portland.
Guess it doesn't make a lot of noise.
No, it doesn't. The racing is actually better than most people give it credit for. I don't actually miss the noise. When people go to the track, there's a lot of young people who are not used to motorsports, so they don't have any preconceived notions of what it's supposed to be.
I've never been much of a motorsports guy.
But you can imagine what it's like for all the old fogies who all remember what it was back then.
Right. Well, it's like, isn't like the sound and the smell of the gas part of like the tactile experience of going to a racetrack?
It is.
It's like if you take that away, it's like, all right, well, we need some fiery crashes to make these things interesting. How are we going to get these EVs to explode when they crash into each other?
Actually,
that's what's really important.
Nobody wants any explosions. We haven't had any fatality in the major series this year, which is good.
That's see, but you gotta add if you're taking away the smell of gas and the sound, you have to add something. I'm saying just add the sense of danger. I think that would increase attendance at these events. There's nothing like a Tesla Fireball. This country's become obsessed with them.
Oh man, I've driven the Model S, the Model S, the Model X, and the Model Y, and I can certainly say that Teslas are about the worst cars for anyone to drive.
Wow. You're a car guy, so I'm going to take your opinion on that. But every time I've been in a Tesla, it's been a very enjoyable experience. It's like driving an iPhone. It's intuitive. It does what you want it to do.
Yeah, I also think
like I just said, I have no idea about anything about cars.
Yeah, when it comes to phones, iPhones are very good as doorstops.
Well,
yeah. Turns out Volkswagen have been slowly upgrading their electric lineup. They were kind of boring at first. For some reason, even though they had rear engines, they suffered from understeer, which makes absolutely no sense. But now they work better. The dashboard design is more functional. I still don't like the instrument panel, but what are you going to do about it? Cars are getting a little bit more powerful, even so. Even the compacts are now in the 340 horsepower range for the sports model. It still weighs 2 tons, so it's not very sporty.
So here's my first experience with a Tesla. My brother-in-law got a Tesla. It wasn't his. It was his brother. I'm sorry, his cousin's. But he was borrowing it because his cousin was using his pickup truck to run some errands. So he was driving the Tesla for a couple of days. He's like, "You want to go for a ride in a Tesla?" I said, "I don't need to go for a ride in a Tesla. It's a car. Well, it's not going to change my life. It's not going to blow my mind." And I could be at the time I was driving a Chevy Malibu. Okay, getting out of my Chevy Malibu and getting into that Tesla was like getting out of a horse and buggy and getting into my Chevy Malibu. Night and fucking day. The most advanced piece of machinery I've ever been in. And I'm like, "Where's the door handle?" And he's like, "Just open the door." I just reached where I thought a door handle would be, and the door opened. It's fucking amazing. It's a sleek design. It might not be the best thing ever, but their branding outside of this whole association with Trump debacle, making the left go absolutely nuts in this country, they're fucking amazing pieces of technology. Everybody else in the industry is kind of playing catch up to that. As far as like a HUD, as far as like a user interface,
no. It's the worst user interface in the history of user interfaces. That's the thing. I want to throw that thing out. I want a regular dashboard.
I don't want a regular dashboard.
Oh, yes, you do, because you want to drive.
That's just not regular anymore.
Yeah. I want because you want to drive. But we
I don't
have
want
more.
To drive. I want the car to drive me. I want nothing to do with the process, really.
Well, you guys only have straightaways and don't know how to manually shift. So
I don't know. I'm going to be. I'm going to be 60
straightaways. I live in a very rural, hilly area where there's nothing but curvy back roads. America has a very, very diverse geography. follow. Yeah, there are very, very different places. But as far as manual, I know how to shift a manual.
I don't.
Why the fuck would I ever want to do that? Why?
I don't.
Because
Why would I ever want to? It's like having an
that's
escalator and being like, "Can you please turn that off so I can walk up the stairs?"
No, that's an actual tactile experience.
I don't even know how to do
one
it.
Thing one thing I like about power steering, when the faster you drive, the less power steering you have.
No, the less power steering you need.
You need power steering when you're parking. You don't need power steering when you're doing 120 on the autobahn.
No, because the Autobahn is a lot of straight stuff, man. I drove it. I drove the Autobahn. Just
Here's the thing is,
but you have to.
I don't
then you have to
drive
cross
wiggle
all
around
the
the
way-
car.
You have to cross all the way over to get off the friggin' thing because that first lane is like unless you're doing fucking 100 miles an hour. Don't even look at that lane because everybody's like,
Yep.
Yeah. Seeing Porsche's 911 turbos going by you.
Just for the record, I can't drive a shift.
If I had a Porsche 911, I would certainly want to have a tactile experience while I drive it.
Mhm.
But I don't drive for enjoyment. I drive to get from point A to point B.
Right.
So the last thing I need is to add a tactile experience to my commute. That's not like that's literally it's like add a task, right? I would no thank you. Take as many tasks away from me as possible.
Dude,
until the year 2005, the penetration of automatic gearboxes in the European market was 25%.
I got a Subaru.
We also have way more cars here than you guys have.
Yes.
Well, we do have smaller streets, so it does feel like we have more cars.
Yeah, you need little cars over there. That's why American cars will never go over to Europe. Because the streets up in Europe are like they were made for a buggy and a horse. That's
all of our European cars are made in Mexico.
You know, so it's like
no, they're not. They're made in Slovakia.
Yeah.
Hey, we got all of the Asian cars that we have in Europe are built in Europe.
There you go.
It's true. We're trying to force that to happen in America, but apparently,
Toyota and Honda already built their most of their best sellers in America.
Yeah,
Hyundai,
we're looking to not manufacture as many parts as have assemblage. Is
right.
what that. The plan is.
Parts come here, we put the car together here, and that's it.
Who knows what the plan is? In 3 more years, there'll be a new president. They're going to go, no more tariffs, and then everything's going to the international market leverage that.
Yeah, the thing is, when they were saying we don't have American cars. Ford, we do have the Ford Mustang here, but it's a niche product. The F-150 does not fit in a regular parking space in any European city.
Exactly.
So there's the thing. Ford
F-150 is too big.
Yeah, the thing is, Ford has been present in the European market with our own products since 1929. We have cars that have never been sold in America.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's the funny thing:
pay import prices for a Ford.
Exactly.
But
the Ford in Europe are made for Europe.
Yeah,
the United States are made for United States. No wonder they don't.
And even when Ford tried to have world cars, there was an attempt at selling the Fiesta and the Focus in America. The Fiesta and the Focus that you had in America was not the same Fiesta and Focus that we had in Europe. You got the downgraded versions that were made for emerging markets.
Look,
you had the poor
Americans know how to party, okay? So if we're going to focus on a Fiesta, we're going to do it our own way.
No, but that's the thing about the size. You need we need our small cars to be comfortable. You need your small cars to be cheap.
Which one is that one?
That's the Exquisite Corpses.
Hold on, hold that up. I want to see what that looks like. Hold on.
Yeah. That's an interesting cover.
Oh no! I have to see what it looks like because from far away, because the white comes together on it
it's like a negative space.
Yeah.
Negative space. That's a nice cover.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Was that a 1 in 25? Whatever.
No, I was cover price.
Really?
I got the reprint of #1 because of that variant cover.
Yeah, I was gonna get that one, but I was on the fence.
Might as well. I've really enjoyed Exquisite Corpses, which is weird for me because James Tynion is not a good writer. So it's strange to me. I'm enjoying something he's written.
All I know, I'm loving that. I'm loving that book as long as the lone gunman is alive.
The lone gunman will not be alive at the end of this book.
Then I won't like it at the end of the book.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to.
He's from Massachusetts, and that's why I'm loving the guy.
Right now, whenever I buy stuff, it's not American. I mean, it's not. I'm not buying American comics at the moment. Although I would love to get a collection of the current Flash Gordon.
Who is Flash Gordon right now? Is that Dynamite?
Yeah, I think
Mad Cave, I think.
Mad Cave.
yeah, maybe. I think I got 1 through 6 or 7. If you want, I'll send it to you.
That's going
It's
pretty
a
good.
week of variants for me today. Well, X-Men 18.
And what's the
Wait,
deal?
is that the new character? No, it's not.
No, that's Magic as Dark Child.
Oh, okay.
That actually looks like a good cover. Is
lot of
the art
good
inside
covers.
bad?
No, it's who's been doing X-Men? Stegman? Ryan Stegman?
Really?
Yep. Yeah, he's been doing this whole run except for maybe 2 or 3 fill-in issues, but
Okay.
that's an ad.
Okay, looks pretty good.
It's very colorful. So like it doesn't have this kind of like serious tone to it. The art kind of feels slightly cartoonish. But like I love this team, this X-Men team, because it's Magic and Juggernaut are on the same team. And their banter back and forth while they fight is always good. It's always,
It's like a brother sister type of thing.
it's very much like Gimli and Legolas in the Lord of the Rings, where they're like keeping count of who they've defeated, and like there's this one thing where it's like we're gonna launch an attack with one of you, and one of you needs to watch this area or whatever, and then they rock paper scissors for it to see who gets to go and attack the people. It's
every
really
writer.
cool.
Yeah. Every writer since Claremont quit for the first time seems to forget that the Juggernaut is Xavier's older stepbrother.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to talk like a teenager. Or
The thing about Juggernaut is the power of the Sidorak actually made him age slower, so he hasn't aged.
Sure,
So
it's not a question of age; it's a question of behavior.
well, he's always been a big dumb oaf.
Yeah,
And
but
I think that the fact that they made him a good guy, turning that big dumb oafness into a character trait that he will interact with his teammates with, has been a strength for the character. I think every time they try to go too deep into the Juggernaut and like do like a really like thought-provoking story where they give him pathos and a whole lot of motivation, really muddies the water for me, where it's like just have him be like fun Juggernaut, or have him be devastating, overpowering, menacing Juggernaut.
all right.
Oh,
So
yeah. Remember Chuck Austin's run when he was in love with that nurse?
Yeah. Did you read any of Age of X-Man?
Age of X? No.
So
Right now-
before the
now there's
Krakoa
nothing in
stuff,
Marvel.
like before the Krakoa stuff, all the Hickman X-Men stuff, there was the Rosenberg X-Men run that got cut short. And I liked a lot of the stuff he was doing in that. He brought Wolverine back to life. He brought Cyclops back to life. He he reimagined the team. He had them like hunting down and killing, if not bringing into the fold, like villains of the X-Men's past. And they did this thing before. They kind of did this House of M type of thing, where Nate Gray from the Age of Apocalypse basically realizes his final form and basically becomes a god, and he rewrites history so that the mutants kind of won, right? And it's a skewed universe, and the main title is kind of wishy-washy and it's very, very weird stuff. There's some fun stuff going on throughout it, but like the coolest thing is that Blob has a romantic relationship with Psylocke. It's like Blob gets to bang Psylocke. It's like every fat guy's dream. And I'm like, oh man,
that guy's dream.
it's like this guy's finally getting a chance.
When name like Psylocke, I mean, with a name like Blob, I really think he's a grower, not a shower.
Well, I mean, Fred Dukes has probably got a giant hog is just hiding behind a couple layers and rolls.
I also think it also looks like somebody's sex fetish of having an Asian chick do foot massages on a fat guy.
Yeah, for real. As a formerly much fatter guy than I am, yes.
Yeah, me too.
As a guy who might be much fatter in the future, yes.
Yeah.
More of
Thank
that.
God, every 30 pounds. Thank God, every 30 pounds you lose, you gain an inch. I just want to let you know.
It depends. Are you anorexic? Because you might not have an inch to gain. You lose 30 pounds and your arm just falls off. Think of this variant too.
Oh, that's nice.
Give me my crypto.
Roscoe, we're all doing well today. Back at you.
You got this Bring On the Bad Guys. I haven't read that yet.
I don't get much Marvels anymore.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, brother. Marvel is
No,
coming.
no, Bring On the Bad Guys. Isn't that the one with there's a first appearance of some chick or something?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was a first appearance or not. I know it's a limited Doctor Doom series, and it's Guggenheim. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. But it seems like it's basically Doctor Doom is gathering bad guys. I don't know. I just flipped through it. Stefano Rafaela.
Rafaela. No, wait. Let me teach you how to properly pronounce foreign names. That's what I do.
Okay,
Rafaela.
Rafaela.
Yeah, that's not how we say it here. His name is Stephanie Raffi. And that's what he's going to be in America. Come here, change your name like they used to. Make me fucking pronounce shit.
Yeah, your new name is Jones.
But the thing is,
I love how like what you'll talk to some like a Parisian, right? And they'll be like, I'll say a word that is supposed to be pronounced a certain way. They'll be, no, this is how you say it with a French accent. And then they come to America and they say shit with a French accent. I was going to be like, no, that's not how you say that. Say it with an American accent. But if I go somewhere and I speak with the accent, I feel fucking pretentious doing so. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, the Paris accent is actually a little bit like doing a Cockney accent in English. It's not actually it doesn't sound profound.
Right. It's like I would go to England. If I went to England, I would order, fish and chips, not fish and chips, love. I wouldn't say it that way because that's fucking pretentious and stupid. Yeah. You say things in your own way that you say them, and then people try to infer how it's. It's like I wouldn't go to an immigrant in America, right? A Chinese immigrant who's first generation, who's having trouble pronouncing words. I wouldn't constantly correct them. I would do my best to understand what they are intending, which is the way that like English should language should be. You should be trying to find the best way possible to communicate, right? Not so much like I get it with names. That's a thing that's like very personal to people. And if you pronounce somebody's name wrong, like I've got my last name is 4 letters, right? Hild.
What kind of last name is 4 letters? Is that
German?
Like, oh, it's German.
Yeah, it's a cut German name because my people were immigrants to this country, and when they got to Ellis Island, they were like, "What? That's too many letters. Cut it down." And they fucking did because that's how people assimilate.
And they wrote it down. Drew 4 letters.
No.
Yeah,
my last name is Hild. How do you pronounce that?
Hild.
Of course, but the amount of times I've been called Hild because it rhymes with wild or mild it's the amount of people who that's their instinct, like that call me is on the phone. That's that every day. There's but I would never be offended by that.
There's a guy who races in German GT. His name is Kurt Hild. I know. So I would always go to that pronunciation.
Maybe
first
he's my people.
He probably is.
When my father's family came over, my father's D Souza. His brother is just Souza. None of his brothers and sisters have the same last name.
Are you
Yeah,
Sousa or
in
just
Port-
Sousa?
I'm
in
D'Souza.
Portuguese, particles are not part of your name. You can drop them at any time.
Right.
Even on the phone book, if you are De Souza, you're still listed with Souza, not
Souza.
with the.
It's of Souza, and
Yep.
and it's like you can spell it with a Z, you can spell it with an A. Everybody's
You can
different.
spell every word right and wrong.
Mhm.
Well, D'Souza is the right way of doing it. So just want to let
That's
just
the
let
way
you
you
know.
do it.
With
That's
an
all that
S.
matters.
That's
Hey,
right.
speaking of French, Drew, you want to see a French Avengers?
Yeah, I love the French language. It's like you just start pronouncing things and then stop in the middle.
Yeah, this is from a. I got this as a gift, and this is from a newspaper collection. You buy the newspaper and you get the comic
pretty
with
dope.
with an extra purchase.
Oh, it's colored too.
It's colored, yeah. See, let me see.
Oh, okay, that's reprints?
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, it's done on modern with modern lettering, so it kind of looks weird.
I would have guessed they didn't have the French lettering initially, so it's going to be
the thing
it's going to be
thing
replacement lettering either way.
Yeah, the when this was published in France for the first time around 1969, so it's not made from the original files. The publisher.
Oh, it's not the original translation.
No, it's a new one.
I actually prefer modern lettering. So many times I'm reading an old Silver Age book, and the lettering is just so haphazardly thrown into those bubbles to fit.
Yeah.
That words run together, and I was an advanced reader as a kid. I started reading when I was very young, and sight words for me were like a big deal. So like I liked to read above my reading level, and the thing that I loved about comics is there's always words in comics that I was just like, what does that word mean? And I could either decipher what it was by going through dictionaries or thesauruses, or I could I would take time to find out that it's just a word Stan Lee made up, right? But so often there'd be these words that are just like, it's a sentence where it's like 5 words and there's really no spaces because of the way that they had to letter the thing. And I'm just like, what's going on here? And when I was younger, it was very hard for me to figure out those things with those older issues.
This is a Brazilian edition from 1991. We didn't have Marvel in Portugal.
That's cool.
We imported them from Brazil. And actually, the funny thing is the lettering that these guys did was always very professional.
Oh yeah.
And one thing that they always did on covers when they had cover type, everything was Marvel and DC always had things hand lettered on the cover, and everything.
Is that the leader or the Incredible Broccoli Head?
Yeah, exactly. But I like that the Brazilian publisher always had this type for cover copy.
That's cool.
I just
like
had
any international issues
right next to him. Well, he just pulled out like 5 books. They're all sitting right next to his ass. He just reached over and freaking took out the book. Hey,
I took these out some time ago, and they've been sitting here for weeks and haven't put them where they're supposed to go.
I got a buddy who collects the Mexican Spider-Man.
For Gordon, yes, Enemy Ace is a great character.
There you go.
I gotta pick up another bottle of wine. These things are almost gone.
Well, what you drinking there?
A nice little import from Boba. It's nice Boba wine.
Yeah, it's near my family's hangouts.
Yeah. What kind of grapes is that though? Is
purple ones?
Okay. It's like, are you drinking a Pinot Noir? Are you drinking
we have our own.
It's just a red wine. It's just a red wine.
No, but it has all the things written in there. You can read them. It's probably even in English at the back.
Yeah, I'll put. Okay, hold on. I'm not even going to try. Here you go. Oh, hey, how you doing, Polo? Okay, here we go. Boom.
Yeah, I can.
I can
read all
read
those letters.
No, wait.
I'm upset with the lettering in a 1967 Marvel comic instead.
How do you say this location?
Borba.
No, not the ball, but right underneath it.
Borba is the location.
All right. So the wine is.
Wait. Alentejo.
Yeah. So what is that?
It's the region.
Oh, okay. So that's the region. So a friend of mine, I went to. I graduated high school. Anyways, he imports Portuguese wine, and this is his main. This region, whatever, is what mainly he does a lot of. So I drink a lot of his wine.
There you go.
You got to support. You got to support
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me look up the grape varieties that we have.
Yeah, it's got a lot of different things here, but I don't know.
It's gonna basically be about it. So you're looking at Vino Verde.
That's
okay. All right. So hold on.
Be a green.
Okay, they have actually the grapes.
Ports. Grape varieties.
So Borba, that should have Trincadeira.
Yep.
Touriga Nacional.
Yeah, Touriga Nacional.
Yep.
And
Alicante Boucher.
It's gonna be mostly region based.
Yeah, Alicante Boucher and Cabernet Sauvignon. We can actually grow a few French
Right,
varieties.
So it's 20% of that Brisket, whatever.
Alicante Boucher. That's Spanish.
Okay, all right. So, I could type this all out, but I'm not even going to try because I don't want my parents to be so embarrassed that their son can't read these freaking Portuguese words.
Well, why would they be embarrassed? It's their fault for not teaching you.
God damn it! Yeah. God damn it!
Thanks a lot, Mom and Dad.
They came to this country without an education, and then they fucking put 3 fucking kids through school. One is an actual got her doctorate, which I would never tell my sister. I will never call her doctor because it will go right to her fucking head.
Oh, because you remember how dumb she was when she was a kid.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that's the doctor you go to. I remember when she was picking her boogers.
She's not a physical. She's like a social worker now, so it's like one of those doctors.
One of those doctors.
She worked for it, but I will never say it to her face. That's how Portuguese people are.
Yeah, we get college education, and all of a sudden we strut about like we're lords of the manor.
Yeah, so you gotta pull them down. Like
it's everybody.
Oh shit! I remember when you used to shit your pants. You gotta be like look at me like you're
right.
That's freaking no way. That's not happening.
My daughter's brilliant, man. She's going to be 21 this summer, and she's just she's a history major. She's getting ready to be a senior in college. You know, ask her about anything. She has some sort of knowledge on the subject, but like, I mean, she'd burn a Pop-Tart. So it's like if she gets her doctorate in history, and she's like, "Well, I'm a professor," I'll be like, "You can't make a fucking Pop-Tart, retard. What do you want? What do you want from me? You can't make a Pop-Tart."
Okay.
So what are we doing here?
All right. So that 55 is supposed to be 50%, and that pound sign is supposed to be a 30. So there you go. Those are the grapes are in this buddy thing.
Yeah, my cousin's son majored in history about 5 years ago, and he's working at the airport now.
This is my daughter. I said, what do you want to do for a living? Like, you have to think about when you're going through school, like, what do you want to do for a job? She said, I really want to work in a museum. I said, that's great. They have a word for that. They're called volunteers.
Yeah.
Like maybe get a job that pays you something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She can go to the museum and go into the shop where they sell pencils, and she could.
There are certainly people who are museum curators and doctors of history and anthropology who work in museums, and they certainly make a great living. That is not the bulk of the people who work in a museum. Yeah. You could sell things in a gift shop for minimum wage. That sounds sure. Go ahead. You want to sell pencil erasers?
Unless she's planning on writing papers for the rest of her life.
I think that she is planning on writing papers for the rest of her life.
What she needs to do is volunteer and maybe go someplace and dig a hole, and find
those are called grave diggers.
Well, don't they go out to sites and they dig square holes and they friggin' sift through
Look, the
things?
world isn't fucking Indiana Jones. All right.
Those are archaeologists. It's
You know,
different.
you need to go
Right.
volunteer
You
these
don't
things.
you don't get a PhD and they give you a fedora and a whip. That's not how the world works.
Imagine that. I would go get a PhD if they did that.
There aren't Nazis anymore. Who are we going to steal the mythical objects from? ISIS does not give a shit about old Catholic relics buried in the desert. That's not how
also
that works.
there are no relics. It's all very boring.
But
Not anymore. They found all the relics. Everything else is buried deep.
Oh, here, are you guys ready for this? Are
Paleontologist.
you guys ready for this?
Oh no!
Ready.
Oh no!
Hey, retro.
How's it going? Got my Burger King watch in the mail recently.
Nice.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Nice. Does it tell you how long to cook your burgers?
No, but it doesn't even work. It's just for the style.
There you go.
It's from 2002, brother.
We gotta get you a real watch that works.
Hey, I've always been a fan of all of my watches have been Casios.
You know what retro really needs is a gaming watch.
Ooh.
I know what you're talking about. I had one, but I gave it to my old housemate as a
Those
present
gaming
for his
watch are dope.
birthday, so.
But you get because his watch died, you gave him your great gaming watch?
No, I gave him the Game Watch because it was a birthday present.
Oh, okay.
One day, his housemate emerged from a vagina. And every year since then, he's received gifts for some strange reason.
I feel the same way.
We all should.
Huh.
Unless you're a test tube, baby.
The hell?
Yeah. If you're a test tube baby, who buys you a gift?
Try to get your navel pierced as a test tube, baby. You don't have a
Ooh,
fucking belly button.
Hell are you guys?
I never even thought of that.
If you're a test tube baby, you ain't got no belly button. Why would you have a belly button?
That is so true.
Polo, you got any idea what these two are talking about, brother?
If you ever meet somebody without a belly button, they're either a robot or an alien.
They don't understand
I guess
biology.
They don't.
No, you can. If you're a robot, they can always give you a belly button.
Yeah, that would be a faux belly button. It's like when you build a really nice machine and you're like, well, let's put a button on it. Like, what does that button do?
So you're telling me every
You just
belly
press
button every belly button you put a robot is going to be an Audi because
a robot belly button is like the crosswalk button where you walk up to the crosswalk. It's like, let us know you're here, and you press it. And it's like, wait, we're going to make the light turn the same time it was always going to. Why did we press this button? No reason whatsoever.
So would a robot's belly button be their shut off button?
No, you couldn't do that. The shut off button's got to be like behind the ear or something.
Cheers,
Somewhere
Oldwolf.
inconspicuous where you wouldn't hit it accidentally.
Okay. So, but
it's like you know nothing about engineering.
But it has to be an Audi. It can't be an Indy.
Well, all buttons are Audis.
Yeah, so but not all belly buttons are. So the belly
all real belly buttons are Indy. So you have an Audi, something happened.
Yeah, no kidding. That's hernia.
Don't mind me, fellas. Just checking our local weather.
Is it going to rain?
It's saying we're getting a thunderstorm, so I have to keep an eye out for that.
It's been raining here all
windows up,
fucking year.
Windows open.
Yeah, we got high 90s, low hundreds.
This is
That
already
sounds nice.
This weekend is going to be the
yeah. There's no thunderstorm right now.
The only weekend it hasn't rained for 18 weeks. It rained 18 weeks. It's rained on a weekend.
It's crazy. They say April showers bring May flowers, but this year they just brought May showers. So I figured that May showers would bring June flowers. But they just brought June showers, and I think that it's going to rain forever.
The rain's been crazy. Not to mention the humidity today. My poor old mother was working today at her.
Oh my god, poor mother!
I love the whole modern sensibility about environmentalism because it's rained for fucking 12 weeks in a row. And the second August hits, the news is going to be like, don't water your flowers. We're in a drought. Like, shut the fuck up. We're not in a drought. There's plenty of water. The oceans are full.
Well, I know the winters are up here be getting warmer. And I bought a snowblower for no reason at all because I now have to take it out.
Dude, I don't have air conditioning in my truck, right? So the other day, I'm driving around. I'm sweating my balls off. I got the windows down. Driving 60, wind breeze blowing through, no relief. 2 days after that, I'm driving down the road, same town, same truck, freezing my ass off. What the fuck? It's June. It's June.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I just like everybody wants to be like, oh, global warming, oh, climate change. It's just like, fuck, tell me why there's no consistency. Just give me. I wish I remember when I was a kid. It was summer, and you got like 3 months. Oh, it's hot as fucking hell. It's not raining unless it's a flash thunderstorm.
Because
Right.
we didn't
Hold
have
on,
global
hold on.
warming then.
Yeah,
Just so
we
you guys know,
preaching that
I'm
shit
wa-
since the 70s.
I'm watching a clip of the guy Norman Reeves from Walking Dead and Keanu Reeves. No.
Norman Reedus?
Keanu Reeves and Norman Reedus from Walking Dead. They're drinking something called snail coffee, urban snail coffee or whatever.
Okay, wait a minute.
Nice.
You're watching two millionaires drink some snail coffee. Why aren't you watching any of my past videos? That's
where you're wrong, old buddy. I have been watching your stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lost IQ points through the process.
Hey.
It's not your fault.
It's not my
Hey.
fault.
Some of that old wolf brain rot sinking in.
Hey, don't do Old Wolf right at that. As much as I'd love to tease Old Wolf right now, he's one of my favorite buddies. Don't do that.
No, tease away. Don't say that. Tease away.
Dude, I do enough teasing to my chat while wearing a tank top. Stop that.
Dude, you got the body for it.
Yeah.
Stop
What do you
talking
think
about his
of it? I
body.
just gave you a
I'm
fucking
leaving.
compliment, and you just give me
Dude, I know I got the buy for it. Have you seen these guns?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you should be
You
doing.
can't show guns on YouTube. You're
Oh, I
You're
can. And I
demonetized.
will. Dude, as long as there's no,
flashing those guns around, somebody's gonna get shot.
There you go.
No, someone already did get shot.
Lots of people get shot all the time. This is America. Can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Well, all I have to say is you're welcome, America.
My buddy's son went on a exchange trip through their church. He went to Australia, and the kid that he stayed with is going to come stay with him in America over the summer. He got upset about it.
One of
That
those,
he thought that like he was going to get shot if he came to America. That's hilarious. He said, "Don't worry, when you get here, we give you your own gun." To an 11-year-old.
Yo, hold on. Oh fuck! I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit, my bad.
What about what?
No, don't worry about it. I forgot.
I can live with that.
I'm sure you can, Old Wolf.
My 12-year-old niece is. I got this from my niece. Hi, Uncle Tony. This is Katie. Me and my mom and the rest of my family are going to the New York Comic-Con. Do you want to come with us?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! But
Is she paying the way?
Huh?
Is she paying the way?
Oh yeah, I remember.
yeah.
I was gonna
She
say.
invited you.
My favorite producer is going to be there October 9th to 12th. Can you come with? You can come if you want to meet you there if you want to. I'm like, I can't go. So it's more like they're not paying my way. He says, hey, why don't you just show up?
Oh, it's nice of her to think of you.
It is. And I said, thank you.
It wasn't
Hey,
nice of
real-
her to not
real
think of
quick,
how to get you there
Buzz.
on her dime.
Yeah, but she's 12. Like
Old
she's
Wolf.
11, 12. Yes, sir.
I finally did it. Actually, recently, the thing I was gonna tell you
Was
about.
you visiting?
I finally did it. I watched the Turok 2008 movie.
And how was it?
It was actually very decent. I did like a premiered video of it, but I'll just tell you here. It was a nice video. It was nice movie. It was one of those movies that I can actually sit down and indulge. It was one of those rarities where I can actually sit still and watch, get glued to a screen. It's one of those things I struggle with autism and ADHD, is the fact that a lot of times I get distracted with multiple things, and I tend to not be able to sit still during a movie or something.
I've never noticed that with you.
But yeah, I actually was able to sit down and indulge in the movie and get glued to the screen to watch this. Turok, it's the 2000 movie called Turok Son of Stone. I was telling Legion about the movie because she had recommended me the movie after telling me it existed. So I took my oath and watched the movie finally, and it was decent. It was very awesome. I actually enjoyed it. So
Are you going to do it? Are you going to do Are you going to do a show on it? Maybe do a reaction. You can watch it again and do a reaction.
I
already did a
wanted,
video
because
on it,
even
didn't
though
you?
someone put it on the YouTube era, I still don't want to get banged for copyright. So
But you
someone
already did a
got away
video
with
on it,
it.
right?
Someone got away with it because they probably got permission or whatever. But I'm not taking that risk, unfortunately. So, but if I was going to do a reaction, it'd probably be me talking about it, and I've already done that.
Yeah. I swear I saw that.
Yeah, I already
Between you and Legion, there's just too much Turok going on in my life these days.
Dude, I tried to properly emulate the Turok Evolution game from PS2. Trust me, I would love to play Turok Evolution on PS2. The problem is like the emulation, like the controls for a controller are so high maintenance for mappings, and it's hard to move it around. It's not something I'm used to, so I'm kind of waiting until I have an opportunity to play it on PC, if any.
I thought
if they have a
game was
PC
very
game.
overrated, so it really missed me as a property.
Well, there's another Turok game I'm looking to either get or emulate.
I heard that Turok 2 is really good.
Oh, it was.
I did not enjoy Turok the Dinosaur Hunter for 64. I thought it was like
it was okay.
It was overly ambitious to the point where like they used that fog to hide the distance just entirely too much, and it was kind of
that I agree
brutal
with.
playthrough.
But hey, Drew, while on that subject, Turok 2 is actually the exact game I owned on 64 back when I was a child. That was the only Turok game we owned. And there were two things that I found out in the later years. That Turok 1, I already knew about that. Turok 2, I already knew about that. But in the later coming years, I had found out they made a Turok 3. And then, of course, recently when Legion dropped the bomb on me that there was a Turok movie. Those were the two Turok-related things I found out about. Was that there was a Turok 3, because I didn't know they made a Turok 3, because as far as I'm concerned, there was Turok 1 and 2. But then Turok 3 came out, and I didn't really find out about that on Steam. I found out about that looking it up out of curiosity. So, and then Legion broke the news about Turok movie 2008, and that's how I found out about that. So.
Any of you checked out the new Predator, Killer of Killers?
Oh, I've heard about that movie. I'm not and here's the thing, y'all can shoot me later. But I never really got into the Predator movies. They weren't my go-to, but not even the Alien movies were my go-to. There are several like retro style, like alien-based movies, and those two were not my go-tos.
So that's on Hulu, right?
Yeah. The only variant of the Alien or Predator movies I liked was Alien versus Predator. That was the only one I could sit through.
I would say, if you have the opportunity, there are a few things that you should check out Predator related that I think you would enjoy. Number one would be Prey. That's on Hulu right now as well.
I don't have Hulu.
That's the story of a native woman being hunted by the predator.
That's a good
it's
movie.
Shown from the point of view of the prey, and there's a very, very good adaptation, which led to the thought process: why don't we just do period piece predator movies, which they should do? There should be a Predator Shogun where there's like a samurai being hunted by a predator. That seems like a pretty cool idea. But this Killer of Killers is animated, and there's a new Predator movie that is taking place on the Predator home planet that's coming out soon. But this kind of expands the universe as well. And a really cool way. The animation is really intriguing. So I would say if you don't like the Predator, at least throw it on for a couple minutes to kind of get the vibe of the animation.
What I can do right now, because I don't currently have a Hulu subscription, what I can do is I can look up YouTube clips of it and see what I'm getting myself into. And then
that'll get you where you need to be.
So Drew, this thing that's coming out is on their planet.
That's what I'm being led to believe. It's like a young predator who's like learning to be a predator. It seems like the new movie looks like it's going to take place on like the Predator homeworld.
Yeah, and real quick, I have to touch base on this because you all know we while we're on the subject of N64 and all that, So we were probably off it, but I'm gonna get into it right now because there was a specific reason. Y'all remember the 007 GoldenEye game, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
y'all need to understand something. They're coming out with a new GoldenEye game, or not GoldenEye game, a new 007 game called First Light. This kind of takes place as when James Bond was a new recruit starting out to be an agent. So it's the
I'm of the school of
007.
thought there's only been one good James Bond game. I think every time they try to make another James Bond game,
Well, what's your preference? What's your favorite James Bond game?
there's really one. It's GoldenEye 007, and I
My
think that's
man.
so much a product of its time, because if you go back and play it now, it's not good. It's
Oh no, I love playing regardless. I grew up with that shit.
It's so, the controls are awful.
Oh no, I can.
I'm very nostalgic for the graphics of Nintendo 64 games, when most of them are not good. It's
Well, let me ask you this.
it doesn't age well.
Well,
No.
let me ask you this. Did any of you play, since we're talking N64, did any of you play the original Rainbow Six for the N64?
No.
You know what I'm talking about, though, the original Tom
Yeah.
Clancy's
I know what
Rainbow
Rainbow
Six.
Six is. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the original Rainbow Six.
I never
actually
played any of those
found
Rainbow Six
the-
games.
I found the OG game via PC on GOG, and I found the OG Rainbow Six game. Yeah.
In this country, like 3 people had an N64. That thing was a complete failure.
I never had a 64.
Everybody
I had
played
one growing
PlayStation.
up, and I'm 27.
Paulo, is that PlayStation the console?
Yeah.
Or nobody. Yeah. That's, you see, you lost.
Mm.
Those
I
Nintendo 64 first party games were so much better than anything else that was out
Yeah,
at the
but
time.
nobody
Well,
bought the N64 here because
What-
people like the Mega Drive over the SNES.
Okay.
So
Polo, where you? Real quick, what country are you from?
Portugal.
Oh, okay, that explains it. Yeah, not a lot of people in those countries liked the N64. I actually got a little rumor of that from a friend of mine. So, actually, not even a friend of mine. One of my brother's wife's family members. They're not from Portugal, but they're Portuguese. Wait, then that would is that? I'm drawing a blank here.
Now the M64 was a failure in general in Europe.
Yep.
Yeah, so
But then the Sega Saturn was an even bigger failure than the N64.
Because
Yeah, I
Europeans
think-
love load times.
yeah, yeah, that's right. I had that right the first time because my brother's wife is.
European kids needed to wait for them to finish their coffee and cigarette between levels. So like a European 8-year-old go outside and be like, look, I need an espresso and a couple cigarettes.
Yeah,
my
before I go back into
and
play."
when the desperation hit, hey Dad, give me that bottle of wine. Here you go, son.
Hey, Polo. My brother's wife, my brother who lives in Boston, not him, just so we're clarifying. But my brother,
not me. That's for sure.
but my brother, who is my age, actually has a wife right now who's Brazilian Portuguese. So,
just for now.
so
Just for now. Just for now. She's Brazilian.
no, I'm
Portuguese?
no.
She
Y'all
might change her
need to
mind
stop-
later and not be Portuguese.
Y'all need to stop trolling me and
Oh,
picking on
I just
me.
got back from getting another bottle, and I heard just for now.
Yeah,
And
don't
I'm
tell
just
me what to do. I'll troll whoever I want.
That is
Well,
true.
Drew, I give you a solid pass. That's kind of your MO.
I'm glad I had the pass. I was going to take it either
I'm
way.
a ball buster.
Well,
I can't
Drew,
help
I'm gonna
myself.
allow it regardless, and even if it's my choice or not, I'm still going with it because you're kind of the main troller in this.
I have my uses.
So,
Retro, I'm just a ball buster. I can't help myself. It's in my DNA. So I'm sorry.
you know, Old Wolf, I'll give
It's
you
true.
that.
Every time he busts his balls,
anyway-
his DNA comes out.
Y'all need to stop that. I am an innocent 27-year-old. Shut up.
It gets a little messy. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's a sticky situation.
Well, I guess I'm not entirely innocent because I was playing a game earlier, Raving Rabbids, Rayman, and
Oh my.
Oh, my wife loved that. My wife
part of
loved
the
that.
game. part of the game you have a cow on a chain and you have to swing the cow around and launch it like slingshot and get up further distance. I felt so terrible, but at the same time I was laughing.
It's not a real cow.
I don't
They're not
care.
real cows.
I don't care. I had a cow on my farm growing up in high school. That's why I felt sentimentally bad. But at the same time, the way they portrayed it, it was so funny. You should have seen me a few months ago while I was playing it on my channel. I was cracking up.
Retro. In the game, was that cow giving milk?
No.
Then then swing that cow and get rid of it unless you're going to kill it, because it's just eating food. It's costing you money.
Regardless,
you don't want a cow.
The bottom line is I was cracking up laughing. It was hilarious. Like, y'all need to see. I'll have to clip it just so I can get some people to see it. But I was hysterically laughing. The way they portrayed the situation in the game Rayman Rayman. By the way, the game came out in 2006, by the way. Just a heads up in case no one knew.
Great collection of mini games. Very fun.
Yeah. But regardless, I was cracking up laughing so hard. I could feel the tears coming. I was crying while laughing. Couldn't even breathe. I was laughing so hard. So
Raven Rabbids was better than Mario Party.
Oh, 100%. Well, it depends on the Mario Party.
I don't think it does.
Mario
parties are more like Diddy parties.
Do you have?
Mario has a lot of parties. He's like Diddy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Don't go there, brother.
Instead of baby oil, it's mushroom oil.
Oh, it wasn't baby oil?
Okay.
No, it's toadstool
but
oil.
Anyway, while we're on the subject of Mario and stuff, did you know that Donkey Kong, the 90s like animation CGI cartoon, is now free to watch on YouTube or something? I was reading up on it on my Microsoft page where they post articles.
When did that come out?
The Donkey Kong Country. It's a 90s like CGI 3D graphical show.
Okay, that sounds. Yeah, I don't really.
Those
90s 3D.
Coincidentally, I owned a VHS of that when I first moved to New Hampshire. My mom had a random VHS. I looked at my mother. I says, "Where'd you get this?" She's like, "It was here when I moved here." I'm like, "Well, hell,
free Donkey Kong.
Let's pop it in the VHS and see what we see." Us kids were so disappointed with the VHS. We're like, "You call this Donkey Kong?" It's like, see, Drew knows what I'm talking about. The show was actually not that great.
I never saw it, but I would assume that most of those 3D animated 90s cartoons are not good.
Well, depending on who likes or not, you're not missing much. It wasn't that great. It was a weird concept. They had like song and like musical songs, sing-alongs. Well, not really sing-along, but they had Donkey Kong singing and all that. I'm like, it would be better if they did the DK rap involvement, but nope.
It's a little too urban for the network. Like, we can't do the DK rap.
Dude, when the DK rap was involved, I think it was more or less geared towards the time of the N64. I think that's when they actually did it.
Donkey Kong 64 was such a disappointment.
It was, but the rap in it was a success for the rap reasons.
Donkey Kong Country was a great side scroller and had a really weird detection on some of the collision. So you wouldn't really know what platform you were supposed to be jumping on or where you needed to hit it. But at least
I like the SNES version that also came out on Game Boy instead. The N64 was in itself a complete failure. I preferred was it the SNES or was it NES that came out on first and then they released it?
But Donkey Kong Country first came out on Super Nintendo, yeah.
Okay, so Super Nintendo.
Paulo, I just want to say I never played these fucking games. So it was like
you never played Donkey Kong Country?
No,
I'm disappointed.
You're Donkey Kong and you jump in the minecart, jump from minecart to minecart. The barrels will shoot you.
Much as I
I'm sorry to hear that. It's sad. It's sad,
dude.
Really.
Drew, I agree.
And I want to let you know, I worked at a video arcade for like 10 years.
Then how did you not?
Because when he had a videocade, the 10 years was when he was a very young man, which means all they had was skee ball and
okay, good point.
And pinball machines.
We had pinball machines.
I bet you
Whack-a-mole.
We had whack-a-mole.
Dude, Polo, You want to talk whack-a-mole? When I was growing up, we had the Hasbro mat.
Dude, when you're working when you're working in a videotape and you're pushing it, you're making change and for quarters, and you see all these freaking video games around you. Do you think you want to go home and play all these fucking video games at home? No, you don't. You don't want to do that. You have dreams of flocking the gate and shooting everybody because everybody's a pain in the ass because they want their quarters, and this isn't working.
That sounds like great customer service.
Drew,
exactly.
Take your fucking quarters, you rat.
Hold on. In his defense, I can now understand why he didn't.
I don't believe the story he's telling because
I don't care.
At his age, there weren't quarters. Every one of those skee ball machines was dime operated.
No, there were quarters.
10 cents a roll.
There were quarters. We started out,
Oldwolf.
We sold tokens. We sold fucking tokens. We had machines.
Oldwolf, chill. He's just trying to bust your chops. I know what you mean.
I know you are. But let me fucking vent, will you? It's my channel. I'm venting. So fucking, we sold tokens. Okay. We had a machine, and we had fucking pouches with tokens. We give out. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. You literally had dreams of just like shooting the gate and just like getting rid of everybody. Don't get me wrong. Skee ball was great. You know why skee ball was great? I'll tell you why skee ball was great. The section we had, because by that time it was tickets, right? You throw the fucking, you do a thing, you got tickets, and then you come back to the counter and we give you a piece of shit plastic toy, right? The skee ball was right next to that counter. Now I'm going to sound like a massive perv, but I don't give a shit. So the skee ball was right next to that counter, and all the mothers who brought their little children to freaking to
bend over and roll a skee ball. You look right down their shirt.
And the summer dresses.
Oh gosh.
F me. And they knew it. They all know it. And I'm like,
they all know it.
They all knew it. And that's why they did it. Because their husbands at home didn't give a flying fire truck about them bending over, and their goodies were just hanging out of their summer dresses. And so they would come, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Oh yeah, I'll give your kid an extra parachute guy. Hey, how you doing? And they would just lean over and play skee ball the whole time, and all their goods were just hanging out of their summer dresses.
This channel just got
canceled. I can't help it. That's how I grew up. I was born a perv. Sorry.
When I was 10, our dads would take us to game parlors, and we would shoot pool or throw darts.
Oh, right.
And if our parents were regulars, if our dads were regulars, we would be allowed in even at 10 or 12, even without the dad.
Because you weren't supposed to be there,
right? But then again, nobody would care. No, it was the 80s. It was the 80s yet,
man.
But the guy would not sell you a beer. He would not sell you a beer.
I didn't grow up during the 80s or 90s, but let me tell you something. Growing up in the early 2000s, we had, and this is not arcade related. This is just something else sentimental from childhood. We had a local, what they call a country store. We'd go in there. We knew the guy, the shop owner, and we'd go in and he'd sell us these pickled sausages. Like, we're talking deli style.
Hey, and you said pickled sausage, and Oldwolf got a look on his face. Like, what? Where are these pickled sausages at?
Let's hear about these pickled sausages in the can.
Oldwolf. But anyway, they were good. Yeah. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to get your minds out of the damn gator.
Look, what did I just say 2 seconds ago? I was born a pervert, lived a pervert, I'll die a pervert. I can't help myself. Go.
He broke his neck looking up somebody's shirt.
You got a pickled sausage in a can. Okay,
it's not even. Hey, it's not even in a can, bro. They're fresh. Oh,
how did you hold it in your hand? Was it heavy?
Oh, Jesus.
Why are you going
Jesus
here?
Christ.
I'm trying to get the whole full story here.
No, you're trying to turn me into you.
Being me isn't the worst thing in your life. I'm telling you.
They want more of their own kind, Retro. They're always trying to convert.
Yeah,
All right,
one
go
of
ahead.
us,
So
one
you
of
went to
us,
see
one
the-
of us.
All
Not
right,
today.
okay.
Google
So wait,
gobble,
went-
geeble gobble.
wait, retro. You went to this general store
Okay,
owned by
yeah.
an old guy,
Country store, but yes.
You held his pickle
The
sausage.
shop
and you
owner
got a pickle
was
sausage.
yeah, he they were on a rack in like these cases where they have your usual hot dog, they have their usual pizza, stuff like that. And in like a little container, which is a jar where they keep the pickled sausages, they were $1 a piece. And they were pretty good sized ones. And us kids, we would buy one or two, and that'd be our
Settle down,
snack.
Tony.
Tony,
Something
shut
giggling.
up. That would
Like a
be
schoolgirl.
enough to hold us over till dinner time. Graham would send us, hey, she'd go, hey, y'all keep griping about your stomachs and snacking. Go to the country store, pick yourselves up some sausages and shut up. And we go to the store, we pick them up. We have a few change left over, so with that change, we also got ourselves some pickled hard-boiled eggs. Because I don't know what was with me and my sister. We loved our pickled goods. And she'd get the pickled.
I don't want to interrupt the story, but it sounds like you have the diet of an 80-year-old bar patron.
Oh shit! At a bar. Hey, are those,
Hey, you give me a jar of pickled eggs up there.
hey, are those
Well,
are those pickle feet? Are the pig figs stay fresh? I want a pickle foot. Too.
No, they're pickled. They're not fresh.
That's
why we pickled them, so they wouldn't have to be
Bring
fresh.
it over. Hey, and give me a bit.
yeah, well, my
Budweiser.
sister would go
Give me a
for like
Budweiser.
pickled hard-boiled eggs. I just get the regulars. And my grandma would go, what you kids get today? I want to know. So we got normally our diet of snacking during the afternoon would be each of us would each get 2 pickled sausages. My sister would get the pickled hard-boiled egg. I'd get the regular, and I'd grab those little packets of salt and pepper off the shelf. They're obviously free because they don't charge you for those, just like toppings or whatever you call them. And I would come home. Grandma would say, "You kids full?" And we'd say, "All right, we can hold this subs over till dinner." It'd be a summer day, so we'd go into our little swimming pool, do whatever it is that kids do. Aside from that, we had like a hole we were digging in our backyard. It was not even in the direction of the backyard. It was like we had a little kind of makeshift gateway into the backyard. And digging in that same spot ever since we moved there, us kids, for whatever reason, made a solemn vow to dig there until we found something good. Well, it paid off because once we found what we were looking for, we found almost like tons of rose quartz. We're talking tons of rose quartz.
How deep?
And that stuff is not easy to find, especially in where we were living. Then, of course, our dog that we had at the time was digging in the middle of the yard and found some sort of raw crystal. And like I said, that digging paid off. Graham was able to sell the rose quartz and raw crystal on her website it was probably eBay she was selling them on for stones and stuff, gems and stuff. And she got a good pound of money, and we were able to pay for our rent plus Graham got us kids some some reward stuff, treats stuff, ice cream, stuff like that, because we actually want to. Also, we had y'all remember those Swans trucks?
No.
The Swan, those frozen delivery trucks.
Yeah, the brand was called Schwan.
Yeah, well, regardless,
SCHWANN.
Regardless,
great frozen foods.
Oh, 100%.
Delicious. The Schwan man came rolling through the neighborhood. I'm like,
he came.
Hey, Mom, get you a case of them country fried steaks we can just put in the oven.
Hey, the Schwan guy's here.
Yeah, well, my Graham, when our Schwan's guy came with his usual route, Graham stopped him, and we got lots of goodies. We're talking frozen ice creams, our favorite dinners, including kids' cuisine.
Kid cuisines.
Dude, anytime us kids heard Graham say kids' cuisine for dinner, we went fucking ballistic. Graham's like, all right, kids, get in the car. We're going to go pick up some kids' cuisine.
My daughter was a very picky eater,
Mm.
and we couldn't get her to eat the dinners that we were making. And it was just like, I'll punish the kid and send her to bed hungry, but I can't do that 4 days in a row. The kid has to eat something. You have to feed your child. It's kind of a big deal. And so my daughter liked kid cuisines. So I basically got, grocery shopping I would pick up kid cuisines for lunch and dinner for the week. And then I got a real good deal at them at the wholesale store. And I filled the freezer with kid cuisines. And then about 2 into it, my kid just decided she didn't like kid cuisines anymore. I said, what the fuck am I going to do with this freezer full of kid cuisines?
How many kids?
Eat it yourself.
Drew,
Dude.
how many did you eat?
They're gross.
I know.
Oh, don't worry.
If you think a hungry man dinner is bad, a kid cuisine is worse. They're terrible.
I love kids
Awful.
cuisine. My only issue with kids cuisine is it's not filling at all being an adult. And that's
Dude, if you eat a kid cuisine now, you're gonna be like, why does this have no flavor? Why does it taste like cardboard? It tastes like prison food.
Dude,
I'm pretty sure these are illegal in Europe.
It's not real food.
Well, regardless, it's something I remember from my childhood. Dude, one of the things I hated growing up.
Is Bobby Kennedy gonna ban this?
Why?
He should. Look at this.
Did he share something? Did he share
What?
something?
No. I'm looking at the Kid Cuisine website, and then I'm looking at what's supposed to be the food.
Oh, in the United States,
No, it's like chicken nuggets or mac and cheese and a little brownie.
It's chemical. Everything's this much chemical and that much product.
I'll tell you right now,
there's product and there's no chemical.
You guys Bobby Kennedy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now. They are still selling kids' cuisines to this day. It's just not the way I remember it.
Yeah, we never bought that for my kids.
The only reason I did it is because my daughter fell in love with them in the supermarket, and I'm like, "You're not gonna like this. You don't eat anything." And I took that shit home and I microwaved it, and she cleared the tray.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I have no idea why you would eat this garbage over homemade beef stroganoff, fucking spaghetti. I made fucking bone-in fried chicken with mashed potatoes. Why would you eat this instead?
I don't blame you. I get the same situation.
Well, Drew, when we were kids, we did enjoy whatever Graham cooked. It's just there are special nights we got a little treat.
My daughter's 21, and if it's not chicken tenders or buttered noodles, she's not interested.
Dude, I'm 27 now. It's something you would cook.
She's going to Japan next month.
Good
luck. I'm like, what are you gonna? She's gonna be there for 2 weeks. I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna eat? And she's like, they have potato chips. I'm like, all right, you're right. I guess I have potato chips everywhere.
I mean,
no. Eventually, they will learn to eat. They will.
Yeah, my mom always said, if they get hungry enough, they'll eat.
They'll eat.
Yeah.
Dude, I learned from
my
a
daughter
young
literally
age.
went 4 days without eating one year when she was about 4 years old. And it's like, if I can't get this kid to eat anything, the only way that we got her to get any sort of caloric content at all is we gave her a milkshake.
Yeah.
And halfway through that, she's like, this is not good. I'm like, it's a fucking milkshake. What do you mean? You don't like a milkshake?
No offense,
I want
dude.
ice cream.
I was a picky
That's just
eater
melted ice cream in a cup. Just drink it. What do you
Dude, I'll admit something. I was a picky eater, but I do feel sorry for your brother. I was not that picky of eater, not like your daughter. No offense. I'm not trying to be offensive. Even though I was, and here's the thing, I was a severely picky eater growing up, but I don't think I was as picky as your daughter the way you're describing this.
No.
You realize I haven't eaten mashed potatoes in my house for over 20 years.
Why?
Dude, I miss
my daughter will not eat. She used to throw up. You feed her mashed potatoes, she would throw it up.
That's like the mashed potatoes are one of the greatest ways
to
eat.
Let me tell you something.
Any food.
No shit. No.
What did you find? I found this dirty ball under the earth. What can we do with this? Mash it up with fucking butter and salt and a little bit of cream, and it's going to be delicious.
Not eat mashed potatoes in my fucking house for over 20 years.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I miss my Graham's home cooking, regardless.
I love mashed potatoes.
Oh, no, I hear you. My Graham, when she moved to Maine, and things have been different. Going over to my sister's house, it hasn't been the same. My sister can cook. It's nice. But I miss Graham's home cooking. I don't know what it is. Trust me, my sister is a college graduate chef, but there's just something about Graham's home cooking that hits it right here, you know. Other than, you know,
That's something interesting that Anthony Bourdain brought up once when he was being asked about like the best way to make a certain thing. He's like, when I cook at home, I don't cook like I cook at a restaurant. I cook
Hell
like
no.
I'm cooking at home.
and that's the thing that
And-
that's the thing my sister does. She cooks
Right.
like she cooks at a restaurant.
Right. And there's a certain level of expectation when you're paying for somebody else to make you something, right? And there's a certain level of detail you can put into something when you have a restaurant full of equipment to do so.
Yeah.
But like
The best-selling restaurants here are the ones that do grandma's cooking.
Yes.
all of the
Agreed.
top restaurants in America right now are all comfort food based.
Let's
Right. So it's like, oh, we're using techniques and ingredients that you might not use in grandma's home cooking, but everything is supposed to elicit that feeling that you're eating something home cooked.
If it tastes like home cooking, it's home cooking.
Well, regardless, Graham is my top spot. Trust me, I love my sister. I respect her as a chef. I respect her as a sister. I respect her regardless. I just
Stop at Wendy's on your way over and show up with a bag of burgers, and then she'll get the hint.
Oh, dude, trust me. If I could afford it, hell yeah.
No, like I'm a Portuguese here, but we love family style, right?
Yeah.
Family style. You make a bunch of you order family style. So what family style is? They bring the platters out and they throw it on the table, and there's nothing fancy about it. There's whatever.
Yeah, Oldwolf. We were discussing this earlier when I was talking about my brother's wedding, weren't we?
Yeah, family
Okay,
style is
continue.
perfect. There's nothing fancy. We don't want fancy.
No.
Fuck fancy. We just want give me a good meal. So you'll have a plate of beef, right? Or you'll have a plate of vegetables or whatever, and you get this. You get a soup. It's a panala. It's like, well, not a panala. It's a big ass bowl, and you scoop it out and everything. It's like that's what we like. We like big family style. You pull from the middle of the table, and that's it. We don't want fancy. We just want, grandma's cooking. That's all we will. We just want simple, friggin' just throw in the middle of the table, and you pull from it.
That's why I treasure like Thanksgiving and all that, because at that time my sister actually cooks the way that Graham does. It's just only that time though. Whenever she cooks dinner, while I'm over there, it's always like some sort of fancy thing. And don't get me wrong, there have been some things my sister has cooked that were fancy, but I actually enjoyed, but that's very little. Because again, my sister being a professional chef, I don't know whatever the reason, she feels she has to keep that going throughout whatever time period of cooking. And I've tried to explain to her, like, all right, I appreciate your ability to cook, but we don't need all these spices in every meal. She's like, I know. And I'm like, but
let me enlighten you to something. I've worked at many, many restaurants, some very nice restaurants, some dive bars, some instances where I was working catering. And once you've had something at a certain level, there's no going back. Once you've had a Michelin star chef make you Brussels sprouts, trust me, you might love your grandma's Brussels sprouts. They're shit compared to a Michelin star chef's Brussels sprouts. Well, that's just the way it works.
Well,
the better the ingredients, the higher trained the chef is, the better the food is. Home cooked food will never be as good as a Michelin star.
Don't get me wrong.
The experience of enjoying the time with your family and the togetherness, the community, food bringing that together. And that's what you're looking for. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if your sister's a trained chef, go over there and enjoy everything she's giving you. And don't bitch about it because it's good.
But on that point,
she does make some good stuff. It's
how many times are you gonna go to a Michelin star restaurant compared to
my sister's not a Michelin
star chef? You're going to a restaurant that has that,
all due
that
respect.
family feeling. Which one? I mean, you're going to go to the family feeling restaurant more often than to pay
out of pocket
$50 for Brussels sprouts because a Michelin star did it.
But let me ask you
this. I'm not going to lie to you.
If money was no object and you had billions of dollars,
I still
Right.
want to go to a family
And a $100 cheeseburger. Hold on, $100 cheeseburger is 10% better than a $10 cheeseburger. It's still better. Maybe if it's not worth the money, if money's no object, you have to look at it objectively. You would still pick the burger that's 10% better.
I know.
True, but I would not continually go back for that 10% $100 freaking.
If money was no object, you would.
Well, here's the
I
thing.
posit that you would.
Hold on. Let me.
I'm only talking to me personally.
You would choose something that was 10% inferior.
Okay.
All other factors being the same. You would take the time out of your day to choose something that was less quality?
Well, hold on. Let me tap in on this. Because again, I respect your ideal on this being 10% better if money was no object. The thing is that yes, if the money was no object, there would be some to a certain level. I would go for something 10% better. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've been to several restaurants like that where we've had money to pay for that, and I have hated stuff like that. Like, for example, there's an expensive sandwich place up in Maine that I diabolically hate. And it was an expensive place. They claim their sandwiches are packed bare and all that. Guess what? If I was the Yelp reviewer or anyone that left a review, regardless, I would give it 0 star. Because let me tell you something. I love my sandwiches simple. And I don't want anything that's like extravagant, something exaggerated. Trust me, I love a good sandwich. And don't get me wrong, they may have put hard effort into that. But there
are Michelin star restaurants who follow the rule that a plate should have only 3 ingredients,
which would be
depends on the plate, but they don't drown the main ingredient in spices.
The idea would be that you should be picking items that complement and enhance the main ingredient of the dish.
Yes,
and that it shouldn't be overdone. It's a level of simplicity, a minimalist approach that's become very popular within the last decade or so.
Well, yeah, and again, with that being the case, there are some
I would argue with that what you're talking about is a place that is under quality but overpriced. I'm saying that
I don't think I've ever been to a Michelin star place, regardless, but just a heads up.
Just because I have unlimited funds and I can go to a place that I can pay $100 for 10% better burger.
Well, I will tell you.
Okay, I go there once, maybe twice, but to feel like I just want a burger, I would go to the place that no matter how much money I have or anything like that, I would go to the place that is 10% less. Because I would feel I'm going there for everything, not for the price or the 10%. I'm going because I enjoy the burger. You know what I'm saying?
My argument is that the 10% better burger, you enjoy that 10% more.
Yeah.
Yes. But
it's more enjoyable.
Is it worth is it worth the $100 just for that 10%?
And
what I'm saying is you take money out of the situation.
Right.
Okay. Why would you choose something that you enjoy 10% less?
Okay, real quick. I'm gonna say because we're talking burgers here. The only expensive burger I have indulged in that I actually find better than a regular burger is Wagyu beef. The Wagyu beef burgers that you find in Vegas. Yeah, I enjoyed that because my gram, I guess, someone had given her some Wagyu beef that they had left over, a neighbor or something. And she cooked it up. That is the one thing I will agree to eat that is out there for price.
Yeah. Wagyu. The thing about that is has
the Cadillac of beef.
It has more marbling of fat in the meat, and that's why it's such a big deal.
It also depends on the cut, severely.
Right, in the cut. And going back to Drew, I want just because all of a sudden I have the unlimited funds and I found a place that has a 10% better burger. deep down, I was more brought up to feel comfort than it was for price. So I'm only talking for myself. I'm not talking about you or whoever. I would feel much better to eat the 10% worse because I feel more comfortable and it's more of a satisfying thing for me to spend that extra money to spend only for 10% is for status. It's because I can, but the 10% less is what I want.
It's not always
Right.
just a status
When it comes
situation.
to efficiency, the 10%, the $100 more for a 10% better beef is not enough in terms of
So
efficiency.
you guys are getting hung up on that $100 mark for the burger.
Right. Okay. Let's
That is
go.
it's merely an arbitrary line.
Right.
I'm
Let's go
saying
on
right
the
now
idea.
that you're all, both of you have factored into your decision that $100 mark. It's not a
Okay.
factor.
Right. Let's go. We have $100 billion, money no object for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Okay. Even that way, finding a good Michelin star restaurant is still a crapshoot.
Sure.
And
Every
you
Michelin
will
star
have
restaurant is going to be better than McDonald's. Every
yes,
single
but
one.
of course. But I'm in Europe. We don't go to McDonald's unless we have to.
Everyone in the world goes to McDonald's if they have the opportunity to. The only reason that people don't go to McDonald's is because it hasn't come to their town yet. People eat at McDonald's
I have a McDonald's.
every country in the world.
I have a McDonald's 2 minutes from here. Do you know the only thing that I get from there for the last 4 years? Coffee.
I only get one thing at McDonald's as well. It's Diet Cola.
Sorry,
but
guys.
Doesn't mean that people or hash browns. If they're doing that at breakfast, hash browns are good. But what I'm saying is blind taste test. You have object A and object B. You taste them, right? Object A is delicious. It's enjoyable. It's everything you wanted out of that item.
Well,
Object B,
hungry now.
you take a bite, your eyes light up. Something's different about it. Something is different about it to the point that you don't even want to think about object A anymore because object B is better. It's a better thing. It suits your taste buds better. It feels better in your mouth. It's the proper temperature. I couldn't tell you why you like it better, but it's better, right? And somebody asks you, which one of these would you order again, given the choice between the two?
Object
that
B.
only happened to me once.
Object B.
Yeah,
that only happened to me once.
Yeah,
it
right?
wasn't. It was in Belgium. It was a chocolate mousse. I asked what was in it.
Chocolate mousse.
Nothing in particular. I think it was the eggs that made the difference.
Okay,
Eggs.
so all right, so you product A is something I enjoy and I like.
Y'all
Project
keep talking.
B.
I gotta make myself something to eat because y'all be talking about food. I'm
I'm
not
gonna
getting
go
hungry.
You get going. Project B
Stay
is
here,
something
Steve.
unique and I love. No, I'm not saying love. It's unique. It tastes great. Whatever. Yes, I would say B, but hold on. I'm in the mainframe, and I'm gonna go off to the left because I think of this all the time. If I won Megabucks or fucking Powerball, whatever, I would still live in the same house I'm living in, no matter how much money I got, right? So I'm going with the same idea about food. Yes, I can get B. It's like, oh, yeah, whatever. But I'm happy with A. I don't need to chase B. I'm happy with A. No matter what I have behind me, I'm happy with A. I don't need B. Though it tastes better. I am happy with A.
But don't you know that you deserve B? You've had it once. You can have it again.
Let me put it to you this way.
But I'm
buying pants.
I'm still a kid from parents who worked. Father worked in a steel mill all his fucking working life. I got a mother who made sleeves for a fucking living. They paid my, they helped, they brought me up, whatever, but I'm still small school. No matter how much money I got in the bank, I'm still small school. I'm happy with small things. I'm happy with all that stuff. I wasn't brought up to be big. So That's
My,
what
my, my
Let-
point
let's
has
get
gotten
away-
severely bogged down and explaining
Right,
that
I get it.
money's
Let's
not an issue. I think that the reason that people don't understand why some things are more expensive, and that is an indication of quality, is because especially in the realm of food, right? There is a severe difference in an $8 burger and a $28 burger. At least there should be, right? An $8 burger should be doesn't necessarily have to be grass-fed or grass-finished beef, right? It doesn't, there's not anything imported. We're not talking about a fresh baked bun. We're not talking about local produce. We're not talking about locally sustainably sourced local produce, which is always going to taste better, right? Because these things, when you, especially, I'm not sure, I would assume it's very different in Europe, Polo, but in America, with the way we think vegetables are factory farmed, right? If you get a tomato and that tomato comes to you and it looks red and it's ripe, it's not. They pick them when they're green and then they gas them in these gas chambers to cause them to mature and ripen. Thing is, it doesn't actually ripen the fruit. It merely changes the color.
And they have
it
no
ripens
taste.
the skin and not the fruit.
And they have no taste.
So they taste like water. But if you're getting a locally sourced heirloom tomato, you're also going to be paying $4 a pound as opposed to 48 cents a pound.
Right,
So there you go. You're already, for your slice of tomato, you're paying 10 times more for a slice of tomato that tastes better. Then you're going to pay somebody who's skilled with a knife to slice that tomato properly so that it sits on that bun properly. That's going to take more money to pay that person in order to slice it.
Right.
And we're talking about sauteed onions,
right. But
that don't come out of the bag.
Right, but that's not the issue. And since we're talking about a form of consumer mentality here, and I think Tony and I have similar buying styles. And so let's switch to clothing. I'm going to make my point through clothing instead of food.
Sure.
If I'm buying pants, the first pair of pants that I try that I like are the ones that I buy. I'm not going to try anymore.
Okay.
There may be pants which are better.
There are better
pants,
why better pants, right, is an investment you should be making. But let's go ahead and transfer that. Okay. Let's not pants specifically, blue jeans. Okay. If you buy a pair of blue jeans that are designer name brand blue jeans and you spend money on them, you know what they're going to do that a pair of $20 blue jeans won't do? No, they're not going to rip. They're going to last. If you buy a pair of very nice Levi's jeans, they're going to last you for a decade. If you buy Walmart brand jeans, you're going to get a hole in them within the first year. Well, the thing is, it's about an investment in a quality of a product.
The factory is 150 miles from me.
You're not going to eat the goddamn burger over and over again with one price.
It's not about longevity when you're buying a burger. It's about enjoyment upon consumption, which is contingent upon the quality of ingredients.
You just said you're going to buy a pair of jeans from Levi's and a pair for Walmart. The Walmart's not going to last. The pair of jeans from Levi's are going to last longer, and I agree with you there. But we're stepping back, and you're going to say a burger from a high-end place and a burger which is only 10% less from mom and pop place. That's a continuously buy. I'm not continuously buying that one pair of fucking jeans from Levi's and that one pair of pants from Walmart. I agree. I would pay the little extra from Walmart because that's a one purchase buy that's going to last me longer. Not a consumable that's I have to buy over and over again. I'll pay for the 10% less.
Well, they're not measured by the same metric, right? So I would argue to say that when you're buying clothes, there are different things you want to factor in. You want to factor in style. I went with blue jeans because blue jeans is something that is a consistent across the board kind of style. Yeah, of course, women are going to get different cut blue jeans, and sometimes you want the tight jeans, sometimes you want the loose jeans, whatever. But the thought process behind buying something that's made with quality materials and quality craftsmanship, it's not about longevity as much about the quality of the product. Whereas like the jeans, I would measure that quality and longevity. Whereas with the burger, I would measure that in quality of how much did I enjoy it, because it is something to be consumed. It's not something that you're supposed to use over and over again, right? It's like to the same point where you can go to Walmart and get tools cheap as fuck. But if you buy Craftsman tools, why would you buy Craftsman tools, Tony?
Years ago, it's because if you broke it, you can return it.
You still can.
But guess what? You can't do it for every tool.
Not every tool, but the majority of them you can. And it's a guarantee of quality, right? It's a guarantee of the workmanship, and it's a deal that you make with that producer in order to get value for your product. So it's like you can buy one hammer from Walmart. If it breaks, you got to go buy another hammer. It was $10. Or you can spend $18 on a Craftsman hammer and never have to buy another hammer again, right?
But it's not the same anymore.
But it is.
No, it isn't.
It may not be exactly the same on the letter of the written guarantee of Craftsman products, but it's the reason you pay more is for the quality of the product. There's always somebody cutting corners who can give you that product cheaper. That's not necessarily good for you. It's not necessarily good for the economy. It's not necessarily good for the world, right? It's like right now, short term, quick fashion brands are all the rage in women's clothing, right?
Yeah.
Women aren't going to the store and buying Levi's jeans. They're getting something off Shein or Temu, or they're buying something off a new TikTok shop or anything of that nature. And the thing about these products, like
what I miss,
I used to do my ex-girlfriend's laundry, and every time she get a new shirt from Forever 21, you put it through the laundry, it starts to fall the fuck apart.
Exactly. It's all for the what's the word? Not aesthetics.
Aesthetics.
No, yeah. It's not about quality. It's not by anything other than the way it looks that moment that you wear it.
That's not necessarily true with food, but my experience is that the amount of time that you waste looking for a high end restaurant with guaranteed good taste, it's not worth it. You are more likely to find something in the top 20%, in the top 20 percentile on regular restaurants than you are in Michelin stars.
Yeah.
So I think that's not having a Michelin star is not necessarily my measurement for quality, right? I think that I've got a restaurant in my town that does smash burgers, and he does all locally sourced ingredients. He does, and his food is not cheap. It's not cheap for burgers and fries. It's not cheap. But it's only like $1 or $2 more than Five Guys, and Five Guys uses fucking mass-produced produce. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I've never had a tomato at Five Guys that tastes like a fucking tomato. They all taste like water. But when I go get smash burgers at Leo's, the tomato tastes like fucking tomato, right? The lettuce is crisp and it's fresh. And these are the levels of quality that garner a higher price tag on items. And I think that a lot of people will immediately look at things like food and go, well, why would I pay that much for this over here when I can get this over here? So, yeah, do me a favor and pick up a $20 smash burger somewhere, and then pick up a Whopper at Burger King, which every time I see a Burger King, the prices just jump through the fucking roof. It's like, why would I pay $30 to eat this? Whereas there are places where I go and I'm like, maybe this is expensive, but I would pay it every day to eat this food because it's good, it's quality, craftsmanship goes into it. And I think
if you're saying Burger King's a $20 burger,
it is. You can't get a large value meal on a Whopper for less than
you said $30, but it's okay. But okay,
well, I mean, who's just getting a burger? You got to get a fucking milkshake, and then they got chicken fries. What are you gonna not get chicken fries? You're acting like I'm not high in the drive-through.
What's John drinking? motherfucker. You got a voice.
I was just listening to these guys struggle to paraphrase Terry Pratchett for this whole time. You guys should read Discworld. It's a great science fiction fantasy series. Terry Pratchett. He basically this is his writ large. This is his treatise on economics. I don't know that it applies to food because those are consumables.
That's
different
my
way.
lane, so that's why I apply it to food.
Look,
Sorry.
Go back to the food. I'd rather eat at a greasy diner than go.
So Terry Pratchett.
Tony loves diarrhea.
Says the reason the rich are so rich was because they managed to spend less money. Take boots, for example. A man earned $38 a month plus allowances. A really good pair of leather boots cost $50. But an affordable pair, which were sort of okay for a season or two, and then leaked, cost about $10. And those were the kind of boots that this captain would buy. And he wore them until the soles were so thin that he could tell where he was from on a night just based on the cobblestones through his shoes. But the thing was, the good boots that lasted, they would last for years and years. And a man who could afford a $50 pair of boots, they would still keep his feet dry in 10 years' time versus the poor man who could only afford the cheap boots that would, have to buy them again and again and again. So a consumable, like shoes, is different than food.
But that rich man never knew.
But that's the economics of like wealth.
That the rich man never had any chance of knowing where he was because he couldn't fill the cobblestone underneath the.
He had a dude behind him with a map that he paid to carry a fucking
trying
map.
to sell us on the benefits of the holes in your shoes?
Yeah.
And also, the rich man was the first one who was able to afford the new technology, GPS. So didn't need to figure that self out with his fucking feet. But he was some kind of circus performer doing a trick.
I can see buying a better shoe to walk the cobblestones. But you know something? I don't mind buying a second pair of shoes because the other one won out because I can remember where I was.
There's
a rich man doesn't give a flying fire truck of where he was. Only that his shoes look good and he has thick soles.
Until you're rich, I won't take your opinion on what the rich people
I'll
think.
never be rich, so don't take my opinion.
Do you guys have little supermarkets from the German chain? Yeah, Lidl are the supermarket chain most likely to be found in both the poorest areas and the richest areas in Portugal.
It's like Aldi's here.
That's an Aldi, right?
Yeah, we have Aldi's. We have Aldi's, but Lidl is more.
I don't have Little in this. They're not in the.
We have Aldi's here. We don't
not
have
in this region, really. I've seen them, but they're not.
Yeah,
highly proliferated.
Right, because like John said, they won't spend money on things they don't need to spend money on. But they will go to the $700 suit store.
I mean, I'll go buy discount dry goods or canned goods, but I'll stop at a farm stand to get my produce.
Yeah,
Well,
and you'll pay more, but it's fresher.
You're going to pay
The
more.
point
but
is
it's gonna
that
be
the better
fresh.
made
You'll be right.
product might last longer. And then the poorer made product, you're buying it so many times over, it's actually in the long run more expensive. You're buying that pair of shoes that's crappier, maybe 5-6 times, and the other guy's still wearing the $50 shoes the years later.
This
right?
is also shown in like the way that the rich dress as well. Like you're going to get, if somebody's a billionaire, chances are they're not wearing a brand new suit. Chances are that's a legacy piece. It's like the royals will wear hand-me-downs because they're
I used to
classically
love
produced pieces of fashion, right? And if you have a suit or a coat, it should last a long time.
Don't get me wrong. My wife loves to buy the shoe that lasts forever type of thing. But then she'll complain, how come it costs us so much, when the bill comes in? Me is like, I'd rather have a thinner sole because I don't need the best.
I think you're missing the point that you're worth the best.
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't worth the best. I'm just saying I don't need
the better your stuff is, the better you are as a person.
No, absolutely not.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I'd love you so much if you didn't have those wonderful
the suit does
baubles behind you.
The suit does not make the man. The man makes the suit.
That is a beautiful sentiment that is 110% not true. People
Oh,
will
no,
look at
it's
somebody
true.
in a
I
nice
agree with
suit
Oldwolf on
and
that one.
believe and trust them way more than they will somebody who's dressed shittily. And
Yeah,
whether or
the-
not
the-
that is accurate to the way that you should live your life or not, that's how human beings behave.
The phrase "dress for the job you want" is real.
Exactly. Fake it till you make it.
He who dies with the most stuff wins.
Yeah. I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree. I
disagree with you.
dress for the job I
Well,
have.
Let me tell you this much. Go
Because
through your
if I
collection
buy- if
right
I-
now.
okay, wait,
right?
wait.
And anything you got without any spine ticks that I have with spine ticks, I'll trade you.
Okay, so I dress for the job I have. If I wore clothes for the job I wanted, I couldn't do the job I have.
Well, not everybody wants to be a porn star. You got to leave your dick in your pants while you're working.
Yeah, but sometimes it just doesn't fit, and you gotta just let it go free.
If you bought some more expensive pants, maybe it would fit.
Only if I have a collar. Okay, so I would have to have it tailored and have a little more room on the left because that's the way it goes.
That's good to know. I'm only
Thank you.
approaching you from the right from here on out.
But seriously, I can't. Okay, so I work every day almost. I can't dress for the job I want because I can't do the job I have.
All right, Oldwolf, I'm dipping. Let's see what the hell my housemates are.
All right, love you.
See you
Love you
later.
too, buddy. Take
See you,
care.
retro.
Take care, guys. Cheers.
Look, my main point that I would bring up is like not every time something's overpriced in your eyes is because it's Kanye West selling a $400 plain white t-shirt. Normally, there's an economy to the production of these items, right? The only thing I could say as far as high fashion, I'm not a high fashion guy. I wear t-shirts and cargo shorts. Normally my t-shirt will have some sort of comic book something on it. Beyond that, I'm cool with a Walmart t-shirt, plain black tee, plain white tee. I'll be all right with that. I went to a shop, maybe it's like Ross or Marshalls or something like that. Like they sell the high-end fashion stuff that went clearance or anything like that.
Right.
Irregulars or something like that. I got myself a Michael Kors t-shirt. It is a black crew neck t-shirt. It's got a little MK embroidered here. You can't even see it because it's black on black. This is the nicest fucking t-shirt I've ever owned in my life. I paid $8 for it because it was at Marshalls or whatever, but it had a $75 price tag on it. If I could afford to buy $75 t-shirts, I would buy no other t-shirts. It's the perfect fucking t-shirt. Why is it perfect? Because it's quality. It's got a great feel to it. It's cut properly. It doesn't have these giant uniform armholes that are just going to flop around. It's the right length, so I don't have to tuck it in, and I don't look like a slob when I'm wearing it around town. It's a great t-shirt. Is it worth $75? I wouldn't know because I didn't pay that $75. So I don't have a point of reference for it. But if I saw another one and it was $75, you bet your ass I would think about it. I'd be like, well, that's a really great fucking t-shirt.
No.
I could buy 7 t-shirts for the price of this one t-shirt. But if I buy this one t-shirt, I don't need to buy those other 7 t-shirts. I'll never need to buy another black t-shirt again. This is the perfect t-shirt. I wash it, it doesn't shrink. As long as I don't get fat, I'll be okay with that t-shirt forever. There's a level of quality that comes with a higher price tag that should come with a higher price tag. If it has a higher price tag, it should have a higher level of quality. But if it has a higher level of quality, I can guarantee you it costs more.
Yes, exactly.
Guarantee anything that is better will cost more.
Yeah.
If somebody's giving you, this costs less, it costs less, it's not as good.
Right. No, I agree with you with the t-shirt issue. You're buying once for a product of high quality that you're going to keep that over and over again. But we're going back. So if I agree with totally, if it's just something you're going to use over and over again, it's better quality, it'll last longer, and all that stuff. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree with that. But if it's a consumable that you do once, I can't see doing it over and over again. Yes, I went out. It's a special time. We went out and I got a burger that was awesome. We did that one time. Or we'll do that 2 times. But over and over again, I'll get a burger that was like, oh yes, that's good. It wasn't I don't see doing a consumable that's just a one-time deal over and over again.
Here's the thing: is you could eat a burger made in your house with ingredients from the grocery store way cheaper than you can going to fast
and I
food.
do.
Right. But if you're going to go out and you're going to invest in food outside of cooking it yourself, why would you not want something that's better than something else? Like why would you look at the scale, right? Why would you look at the scale of quality and think anything other than I want to be as high to the top of that scale of quality as possible?
Okay, because when I go out, I want to do it once a week over and over again. If I go over the top for that, maybe I can do that once every 2 months.
You should get a second job.
Oh, there you go. Now I need a second job. You
don't need a second job. You could eat shitty burgers.
Okay, so but if I go to a burger that I enjoy once a week, I enjoy that. I'll enjoy that. If I have to go to get a job to go eat a burger that every 2 months because I can't afford it every week, why?
Because when you taste that burger, not only will it taste so much better, you'll have a sense of accomplishment that you worked for it. And you have the delayed gratification of having to wait another fucking week, which makes it taste even better. Stop giving me all the points I need to prove myself.
Look, I rather enjoy a burger once a week and then have that instant gravitation. Oh, it's like masturbation. Having that instant gravitation every 2 months. I'd rather have it a casual, once a week, and then all of a sudden, and then that every 2 weeks going, I can't, I'd rather have it this way than just spiking up and just like every 2 months. Sorry.
Well, I would say this. I would rather have sex with a beautiful woman once a month than jack it every day.
I don't jack it every day.
You're getting older there, buddy. Not as much venom in the snake.
No, there isn't, but she's still happy with it. So, I got you. But that's how I am. I'm not judging you. That just says how I am. Why did you just do that, John?
There's a little judgment there. That's fair. That's
no,
fair.
I'm saying
you're judging each other. It's fair.
Okay.
So
John,
I'm totally judging your way of life.
John, what would you rather do?
Talk about comics?
I'd rather jack it every day.
Would you rather jack it every day?
You missed the opportunity for the perfect answer.
Once every 2 months.
I'd rather talk about comics. I don't know.
So what are you reading, John?
Yeah, you go.
Let's see. Just wrapped that New Mutants Omnibus Volume 1.
Oh,
that was
did you know it's John's birthday in a couple of days?
It is.
I did know that.
Sunday. Truckosaurus.
How old are you gonna be?
48. Am I right?
What a youngin.
Double check.
He's old enough to not remember how old he is.
Yeah, it is.
I need to check the calendar on that one.
I do. I really
go
do.
to the boys in the lab to see what they say.
Get my abacus out.
Dude, your thing is almost done. I can't guarantee Sunday, but it's almost done.
My thing is almost done. I'm happy about my things getting done.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'll open it. Give me time.
Should pick that up.
I did. I mean, they pulled it for me. I haven't gone to my shop yet.
That's beautiful.
Busy.
I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick up some variants this week. It's telling Tony I have not been variant hunting, but a lot of variants this week.
I'm reading a bunch of Black Panther these days. I'm on the Reginald Hudlin era.
Did you read the World to Come yet?
I did. I enjoyed it.
Did we talk about that?
I think you were in my chat for something, maybe when I was talking about it.
I feel like I've talked to everybody about it.
I have not read much of Christopher Priest's Black Panther, but I have the Omnis now, so I'm going to read it all.
That's
Hudlin
very
did
fun to read.
a lot of love for his Black Panther run, but I think Priest is Black Panther, in my opinion,
I hear
based on
that,
what
and-
I've read.
And I've got the Ta-Nehisi coats as well, so I get a lot of Black Panther in my future.
Did you pick up Humphrey's New Adventures?
Mm-mm.
It's not great, but it's got one of my favorite panels in it. Or I would say it's like a 2-page little bit that I've seen.
See, Tony, this is how you
Enjoy.
do, a comic book live stream.
I don't do that. I'm sorry. I don't do that. I do everybody in the panel talk what you want to. We talk. If you want to talk about comics, fine. If you want to talk about fucking burgers, we do it.
I don't want to. I don't want to fuck burgers, buddy. I don't need
So-
to
Okay,
talk about that.
So I picked this up. Okay, I looked inside of it. It looks like ass. I'm sorry.
New Avengers?
No, regular Avengers.
See, let's let.
Okay,
he's
it's
gonna say something.
it's crossover happening right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
I
don't
wanted to
want
see the panel. He said there's a panel here.
This is the page right here. It's like Bucky and Natasha are like recruiting the new Avengers.
Yeah,
It says right there. It's like
Oh.
she's the best there is at what she does.
X-23.
And the last panel says better than him.
Who's
And
him?
then
Wolverine.
Oh,
She's better than Wolverine.
that there. So, I
Yeah,
didn't call
man.
him, did I?
There it is.
Yeah, so she's
Preach.
just like absolutely stabbing dudes through the face with her like
I love
hands
it.
and her feet at the same time.
They've
Pretty
been
dope.
reading. They've been reading the Avengers for about 15 years now, so I gave up.
No,
Doreen is here. I can put Tony backstage.
Hey.
This is- look how infinitely superior this show has become instantly.
Uh-huh.
Hello,
Hi,
my friend.
everybody. Oh,
How's your
so
day going?
It's a day off, so I just
yeah.
finished dinner. I made chicken enchiladas. So
Oh, I wish I was there. That sounds incredible.
enchilada.
chicken.
My mom
enchiladas.
used that was my birthday request every year when I was a kid growing up. Enchiladas. My
My
mom
s-
does really great enchiladas.
Yeah, my son's birthday request is shrimp étouffée.
Ooh,
Yes. So
has he got some New Orleans
he
ancestry there?
when he was in high school, he was a scout and he went to a high adventure camp in Lafayette, Louisiana. They spent
Ooh.
64 miles on the Apalachicola Bayou. So they spent most of their time in a modified canoe and ate good food. So, he had hush puppies and net fished for catfish and had
Sounds
jambalaya
incredible.
and all good stuff. So I made shrimp étouffée one time when he came back and he goes, I want that for my birthday every year. So
Knows what he likes. Oh yes, my goodness. Let's. Who is the artist on this?
That's a Greg Land.
Greg Land. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a
150,
pretty
I
one.
think.
I already bought the short. I bought the short box for the Nakayama cover.
Yeah.
They had them at my shop.
I really love this character, Dr. Afra.
Stay
the
muted,
art-
buddy. Stay muted.
Oh, the art is terrible in this.
Poor
Really
Tony.
bad.
Poor Tony.
And I was not a winner. I will not be going to Hollywood.
Sorry.
It's
Maybe you
okay. I was
Me
talking
neither.
to Tony about this earlier. I love these facsimiles, especially the DCs. They've been like the way they use the old paper, or at least
Yeah.
not they simulate using the old paper and the old
Right.
printing. I think they're really good, and I've been looking for this book forever, and now it's completely unattainable and a grade that I would be proud to own. So glad I have
There's
it.
That's what,
few
that's what
books
James
that I-
Gunn does.
If
Yeah.
somebody wants a bag version of that, I have it for $20. It's over here. Hi,
Oh,
Doreen. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Okay, you made shrimp what?
No,
Etouffée.
my son asks for shrimp étouffée all the time for his birthday.
Ah, very nice.
So I'll make shrimp and dirty rice any day he asks.
You know, you can clean your rice anytime you like.
No, I
It's
prefer
better
it dirty.
It's always better dirty.
So,
You
but
guys-
yeah, we had enchiladas for dinner. I just had dinner with my mom.
Do you Do you guys ever make shrimp like chicken Mozambique or shrimp Mozambique or anything like that?
No, but I'm having sopas on Sunday.
Ah, nice. Actually, I had soupage yesterday, but at work.
Okay.
They made soupage at work.
That was a lot of thinking to get to yesterday.
Yeah. Like what happened
I thought-
between now and
He was
then?
like, I
A lot
had,
of
I had
miles
What
to dig
happened
through.
between yesterday and today?
it was I pictured you traveling back like months to like math this out, and it was yesterday. So I was
Yeah, the Festa Espiritu Santos is this weekend, and so I'm going at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning before I go to Whittier Comic Fest to get a panella full of sopas and bring it home so I can have sopas for a few days this week. And
Nice.
then on Monday night we'll be there for beans and meat.
Ah.
So they
You
call
guys-
it barbecue, but it's nothing like barbecue. So
Do you guys do it like when you guys have those? Do you guys do like conch spit or anything like that? Absolutely not. I can tell
No.
you just by looking in your eyes.
no,
So cottage spit is when you get a they have a it's an open fire type of thing,
no.
and you get these long pieces of metal, and say it's almost like a
Skewer.
yeah, and you throw the meat on there, and the meat's already been like already seasoned and everything. It's already been all that stuff.
No.
You throw it on there and you cook it over the open fire, and you buy it like a cup of beer and you throw it over the beer.
No, there's a parking lot, there's a hall. It was built. See, my grandfather came here. Probably was built in the late 1920s, maybe even later than that. I'd have to ask my mom, but they used to have it in a tent on a lot.
Yeah.
So he was one of the founding guys who actually built a hall. They just got air conditioning because the seating for the food is downstairs, and upstairs is the bar and dance hall, and room for the Queen, the Blessed Mother, and the Holy Spirit, the crown and stuff. So there's a reverence room up there, and so I know that Tipton has already had theirs because they start the Festa season. So we have a season, and all the areas, it ends in Pismo. So all those come. So like after Heinz has their Festa, they'll probably go to Artesia, and then they'll go do the rounds, and they'll all end up in Pismo.
Okay.
So you have all the queens from all the areas and march in the parade to and from the church at the High Mass.
So when you guys do this stuff, I'm just going for what we do here.
Yeah, you do everything back
You guys
afterwards.
do the procession.
Yeah, they have a parade that goes to the church. They have mass, and then they parade back.
So they carry
the marching band and the whole
flags. They carry the.
You have the
statue.
Paramount flag. You have the Tipton flag, or whoever's there.
Do you guys do the thing where the truck goes to everybody's house and they pick and they drop off bread, meat, and wine?
No, only during COVID were we actually able to pick up food and bring it here, because you couldn't have it held in the hall. But no, for fundraiser, they have an auction. So my mom, when she was more active in it, she's doing okay. She would always like buy a calf and then give it back to the committee to have it resold.
Oh, sweet.
And I bought like 15 pounds of linguiça for like $20, $25. So.
Something actually, because of Rob, you guys do Nello. Anyways, he sent me stuff. You got your chorizo in linguiça is very good over there.
Thank you.
It's not as dry, and it's got a lot more flavor.
No.
But when we do the feast over here,
but he's used to the dry one, so he's going to choose that one instead.
Yeah, the dry one was named Drew, but that's another story. But anyways, so they would.
I'll get you wet.
I've met him. I met him. Very juicy.
There you go. We spooned. Anyways,
My
it was
best compliment I've ever gotten.
They would
Juicy.
they would come to the houses,
It's the sweatpants
and,
without
and
me.
they would come by and they drop off a loaf of bread, a piece of a good size meat, and a bottle of wine, and like you would like give them drink and everything and whatever, and they go to the next house and over again.
Yeah, and they're probably pretty wasted by the time I hope they got a lot of money for their donations by getting all the people drunk.
Well, there was always donations, yeah.
Yeah, we just have people come around and sell tickets, and for the festa, we would have in September the Festa de Contas, which was a celebration to say thank you for everybody's hard work during the festa season, but they're not going to have it this year because they said that hardly anybody came last year. And, they had a lot of leftovers. And I'm like going, I would have taken a panella of meat and I would have taken a panella of beans and a few loaves of French bread. And I would have been fine. You guys didn't have to complain about it. I would have taken enough food to take it off your hands. I would have froze it. I would ate it with eggs in the morning. I would have had it at night.
Over there, does anybody host the crown?
I'm not sure. I'm not that
over here.
involved.
They would host the crown, and they would.
When does all this happen, Tony? When does this happen?
During the season, I don't know exactly.
When is your season for festa?
I was going to say, what's the season? I just want the season.
I don't know because I was always
at this. Are you running this show? What's going on here?
I was always the kid with had dressed in the white suit, had the special shoes, and we would carry.
Mama says they was my magic shoes.
Yeah, you go.
Mama says they take me anyway.
I
went with Liberace. You went with.
So I would wear. You would put something over your head. It was like and then you would either hold a flag, or when you got older, you would hold the statues and do the walk.
Yeah.
What I can tell you.
You have to be voted on by committee to be one of the queens. To be in when I was little, I was able to be in the Queen's Court, so I got to walk. My parents belonged to the Cabrillo Club, so they walked. So I did it a couple times, but that was it. And that was in Artesia, but they've decided to make their hall a kind of like a profit thing.
Yeah.
So they rent it out. But they still do the bullfights. They do the whole 9 yards over there. So they'll have Thursday or Friday night bullfights. They'll have something on Saturday, the festa on Sunday. So, but it's done a little differently over in Artesia than it is in Paramount or Hines, which they're not even 20 minutes from each other.
Gotcha.
This is a cultural festival.
We do different things.
It's a cultural festival or like a
it's Portuguese.
ceremony or
it's a Portuguese. It's the celebration of the Holy Spirit for Hines. So it kind of relives the whole thing when Portugal was going through a drought and the Queen would steal bread off the royal table, and one day her husband, the king, came and said, "What you doing?" And she prayed to the Holy Spirit, and she turned around and he goes, "Open your cape," and she did, and a bunch of roses fell out instead of a bunch of bread. And she went down to the chapel and said, "I would give my crown to have I would give up my crown to have food for my people, so my people wouldn't starve." The next day, a ship was blown off course and came with grain and food and stuff. So it's kind of a celebration of the Holy Spirit working in saving the Portuguese people from starvation.
Not a big Portuguese population in my area.
Oh yeah, I bet.
All of our festivals are krauts and Polacks.
European, where you at? Sorry, I might
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Where every bar is Irish, owned by a German.
So they have Weizenbier?
My maiden name
quite a bit.
My maiden name is Phileas. Filllius. It's I can trace that name back to 15th century Bavaria.
There you go.
So my grandfather, on my dad's side, was German.
My grandparents on both sides were German, except for my grandmother on my mother's side. My maternal grandmother was her people settled in Germany, but they were from Czechoslovakia. That's as much as I know about that. All I know is we've got sauerkraut at every holiday function. It is not a stereotype. It is a fact.
My grandparents came from the Azores or the Azores, the islands off Portugal, and they came from the same island of Teixeira, and from opposite ends. So my mom was told when she went to Portugal that she didn't speak proper Portuguese, that if she stayed here a while, that they would teach her proper Portuguese. My mom was a little insulted.
Yeah. Here's the thing: descendants of Sicilians in America think they speak Italian, but they never spoke Italian. In the Azores, they have.
You mean gabagool? Not a word.
The Azores has a very particular accent that we make fun of here in the mainland.
Yes, and I heard they have because I don't speak that much. I speak little words and stuff because my mom was the only one out of 4 children in the 1960s that didn't marry another Portuguese. That each island and almost every town had its own kind of little dialect or little slang.
Yeah, so it's the same in Germany. I know that like Bavarian
and it's just a little variation of whatever.
It's the same in America today.
So over here,
America and South and in the South versus the Northeast.
I tell you,
versus Tony when Tony starts talking,
you're not going to understand the word people are saying,
right?
Yeah, in Massachusetts, we have a dialect.
I beg everybody to go check out I don't know how famous it is around the world, but in this area, there's a famous TikTok trend of YNs from Baltimore trying to pronounce the words earn, iron, earn, and arn, and there's like, and it's just the same sound. It's fucking hysterical. And then the one dude looks at the other dude and goes, "Is that how we sound?"
No, you know how you should end that video with a seal.
It's like Aaron earned and iron earned. And he's going, it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. It's that way. I probably sound different, being here from Cali than what most people.
That's guaranteed.
I don't think we have an accent, but people can tell.
That's why Kevin Costner made such a great Robin Hood with his Californian accent. It's just very believable. All right, Tony, I'm going to go get
times
dinner.
when he slips into
I'll
a British
see if you're
accent.
still live when I come back.
Where you going?
Bob's trying to expose my identity as an officer of the CIA.
Sunday, bring it over here.
The worst.
I have 3 amazing ladies down the hall that I could eat dinner with, or I could eat with you live on a YouTube stream.
Yeah, again, choose quality, John.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bye, John.
See you, John.
One of my favorite things to do is to go to the ballpark down in Baltimore. They go see the Orioles play, where I can have a vendor ask me if I want mustard or kraut on my Doug, my hot dog. My Doug. It's a hot dog.
Hot dog.
You want that on your Doug?
Man, and that's one thing I just have never got the taste.
Mustard and onion. That's it. Mustard and onions on a Doug. That's
sauerkraut on a fucking hot dog with mustard for sure. I'll change your
My
life, brother.
dad would eat sauerkraut like there was no tomorrow, and it's like something that.
It's something that as a child I would turn my nose up at every chance, but now if I'm like at a restaurant and somebody's like, "We put sauerkraut on that sandwich," I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm choosing that." A Reuben, come on.
Just my kid likes it. My husband used to eat it because he was stationed in Germany for a while and was. So my dad would eat it. My kid likes it. My son. I don't think my daughter does.
For me, it's like an accent flavor, like sauteed onions. Like I wouldn't eat a spoonful of sauteed onions, but putting sauteed onions on a sandwich.
No,
changes
I'd
it.
eat a spoonful of sauteed onions any day.
Yeah, it's
Onions,
just too much.
always
I mean,
onions, always onions.
Saute
you-
them and with some red and yellow peppers, orange peppers, and put them on a brat.
Yeah, but it
But I would
belongs on.
say-
It's a condiment. It's not
No,
like
no, it can be eaten
yeah,
as a
like
meal
so
too.
like celery
Italians
sausage
have peppers, right?
and the sauerkraut's the thing that we do in Baltimore,
Oh.
and it's a kind of a Polish thing more than a German thing, and I love that dish. But I'll eat the sauerkraut that's stuck to the sausage. But I'm not going back for more sauerkraut after the sausage is gone. It's an
Yes.
accent for the sausage.
There used to be a pup and taco right by my house. Entropy.
Pup and taco.
Yeah, when I grew up, there was this little fast food place called Pup and Taco where you can get a taco and a hot dog.
Okay. At least they sold hot dogs. And I have to worry about what the taco meat is.
Okay, so over here, the fasta starts in July 18th, no 16th, and goes through the 18th.
Why is it not universal?
Because it's different places. She's from Terceira. I'm from St. Michael's. It's nothing ever.
Here's the thing: everybody in Portugal in the Middle Ages, every village, every town and village saw the Virgin Mary. It's just that
This
the
is
Virgin
why
Mary
Brazil is
had
the
to-
only country that speaks your language. This is weird.
yeah, the Virgin Mary had to go on tour, so she couldn't be seen in every village at the same time.
Virgin Mary on tour. Get your tickets now.
So basically, it's
Here
about
every
when
day.
she got to your town.
Yeah,
So, like basically today, it'd be like if like
Oh, but it's
my
not the
my
whole- it's
people
not- it's
enjoyed the
not Mary,
70s
it's the
stylings
feast-
of the Grateful Dead,
it's
and we
the-
only celebrated the Grateful Dead Day on the day that they toured in
it's the
1973.
feast of-
Like
exactly.
that's actually kind of cool.
We celebrate the feast of the Holy Ghost. It's not the Virgin Mary. That's what we do here.
Which one's the Holy Ghost?
It's also a
the third
celebration
one.
because the Queen does represent
they all
the
one?
Blessed Mother. So
Yeah, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. It's the third one.
But aren't
It's
they
the
all the
Trinity.
same guy?
Exactly. It's the Blessed Trinity.
the Catholic religion, all in one.
Yeah, I was raised Catholic. I feel it's like the only surefire way to make an atheist. I'm an agnostic, but it always boggled my mind. I dated a girl for a long time who was Protestant, and she was, I don't know, Lutheran or something. I could not be bothered to figure out what the difference is between Christians that aren't Catholic. Like, and to me, it's so ridiculous that anybody could say, hey, there's this set of rules that are the ultimate rules that we live by, but I'm going to live by them slightly differently. I don't get that. It's the most mind-boggling thing to me.
It's all on your faith and how it works for you. And that's
I agree. I'm only speaking dogmatically.
No,
right?
I'm doing the same. I'm telling you straight.
What-
You know,
whatever
one
your
person who got upset the way things were supposedly in Rome, though men are flawed, so of course religion's going to be flawed. So
Of course,
Rome
that's
is
what a
gonna
lady would
be
say. Men are
flawed.
flawed.
So Martin thinks he's the holy one and goes and does his 99 whatevers and throws it on a door in a church in Germany, and that's how you got Protestantism.
I understand. I understand the history of it.
Yeah.
What I don't get is
The main difference between Protestants and Catholics, not just the quote they call us idol worshippers and whatever as we venerate saints, is that
Yeah,
the
dirty
Holy
papists.
Eucharist, huh?
dirty papists.
Well, all the way from the vicar of St. Peter, who was the original pope that Christ instilled his church on, but that we believe that the host, the Eucharist, is the true body of Christ, that we consume his flesh every time we take communion and drink his blood when we drink the wine, that we are sharing in the feast of the Last Supper each and every time at the Mass. And Protestants don't believe in that.
I understand that. I understand the difference between Protestant and Catholic.
Yeah.
I don't understand the difference between Lutheran or
Oh, the
Baptist
Lutheran and Calvinism and
Seventh
the
Day
Episcopalian.
Adventist.
Oh,
or
Stephen said, don't get me.
here's the thing, and I don't
Mormons.
mean to be disrespectful to any Protestants out there who have a deep faith.
Yeah.
Do you live your life the best way you can? I believe that Christian values, as somebody who spent most of his life as an atheist and now is very strongly agnostic, are the best values that somebody could live by. That's the way I was raised. But at the same time, you're all, if you're not Catholic, you believe in the reboot, which is inherently not the word of God, because the word of God was already established before your sect broke off from it. So
Right, but each and every one of them wants to say that they go back to the beginning, and they can't because it was established way after.
and I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong.
No,
But all I'm saying
if
is,
they were real, they would be Nestorians. But
as I would say, as somebody who is obsessed with the telling of stories and keeping things canonical as a comic book nerd, to me, it's just like, no, you can't do that. You can't reboot. You can't reboot. And that's my problem with the DC universe. They're always rebooting. Marvel might give you a little different skew on something, but if something happened in the fucking 60s in a Fantastic Four issue, it happened. It fucking happened. And it's the same continuity today that it was then. Have things been retconned? Yeah, you can always go back and massage things as the story evolves. But like, you can't just start over. You can't just start over and make Superman wear a fucking armor suit like in the New 52. That's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, Lutherans are New 52 Superman of religion.
But I always wondered why that if the Jews were God's chosen people, why are the Baptists always trying to convert the Jews?
Because
I'm not opening up that can of worms.
Well, that was my biggest question, because I had a lot of Baptist friends that were Baptists, so I went to church with them a few times, and I was like sitting there going, "This is strange." So, I mean, not to knock anybody's religion. I love you all, but I just didn't get it. I guess when you broke out Catholic, you just are like, it's like
there are rules. Like being Catholic, there are rules, and there are schedules, and there are calendars, and everybody is getting the same sermon every Sunday that they're getting everywhere else across the world for the most part.
Yeah.
Kind of
we're leading up to just had Pentecost, and today is the day of Corpus Christi, which will be celebrated this Sunday. So Easter just ended. We're in a new liturgical calendar.
Hey, do you know how the country celebrated Corpus Christi? By going to the beach.
In Texas? No, I'm sorry. There's a beach in Texas called Corpus Christi.
Yeah, the thing is, because the holiday is on a Thursday, everybody put a vacation day for Friday.
Yeah, so they can all go to the beach.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a 4-day weekend. Yeah. So yeah, there's rules, there's ways to do things, but that's just the way it's been since the beginning. So
I feel like it's the most dogmatic of the religions, and it becomes its own, has its own logic to it. And when faith is a very not logic based kind of idea, right? Or like faith is like kind of the antithesis of logic. It's the belief that something miraculous is.
Well, it's also the
happening.
belief of the unseen too, because
right.
those that are blessed are those that
faith.
believe and do not see.
I just feel like I've always been an analytical thinker, and that dogma being pressed upon me as a younger child made it seem that was the way to do things. And I understand everybody does things their own ways, but it's like when you look at people who aren't you and do things differently, it's kind of a question how these things come about.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool that what is very much a religious based ceremony. You're talking about the festa. It becomes a celebration of culture more than anything.
It's a celebration. Well, it's both. It's a cultural celebration because it happens to the Catholic Portuguese community.
Right.
So, but it is also a religious celebration of the Holy Spirit and the cultural beliefs that go with the religion and the history of Portugal.
Right. I very much enjoy going to the Catholic-based Polish festivals. Right. And they're always based around a Catholic holiday that I have no knowledge or interest in, but
They're fun.
I like pierogies.
Hey, you know what? I like when it's Catholic carnival season because of the beer truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beer truck. There was my parents always worked the beer truck at the church when I was growing
When I
up.
was a kid, I love the season because we all go in the hall, and we have called the Veld. It was a soup with potatoes. I can't say it right because I'm already a ball and a half in. Called the Vud.
No, we have called fish.
No, it was a potato based and had strips of
you had me at potato based.
Yeah.
I love potato soup.
I can't say the word right, but it's a great fucking soup. And we all sit around and we all get the soup and we all get the pop suck and we all like what the pop suck is it's a roll. It's a bread roll. We call them pop sucks. And you all eat there and we all dump the bread and the soup and it was awesome.
Also, it was a poor country, bread was very important.
Religious way, whatever. It was great to get the Portuguese community together. We all sat, we all did the walk, and no matter what, you sweat like a bastard doing the walk.
I don't know anything about Portuguese food, but if it's anything like a Brazilian steakhouse, count me in.
It's not. Yeah, that's awesome, but it's not the same thing.
Oh, well, then
it's different, but it's
where did the Brazilians get it if not from the Portuguese?
It's a fusion of native and Portuguese food.
And African.
You have native people there, and then you have slave trade that came back there. You had Portuguese that were there. It's a mix of people, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, when you drink cachaças there, that's from
my father used to make it all the time. Oh, I love that shit.
That sounds good. I don't know what it is.
It's a cocktail. Actually.
Okay.
So my father would make wine he still does. He makes wine every year. And he has vines, and then he would bring in grapes from California to get the different flavors and stuff like that. Then after you squeeze the wine out of it, you still have the husks, right? You still have all that stuff, and you boil that down, and he had a little still,
make a mash wine.
Yeah, and he would take that to make the shine. The thing was it's such a Mickey Mouse setup. That's the thing with Portuguese people. At least we make what we had. He make a still.
Everybody did.
Yeah, but the thing is he would make flour. So every time there was a leak, he would take the flour and water and clog up the holes at the still, so that he wouldn't lose the alcohol and the steam coming out the side of like some of the, and it would go into
all the great moonshiners in the South.
Yeah, baby, that's my father. God bless. He's still breathing, but God bless him. He would do that every year, and I would steal from him, and he put it in gallon jugs of table wine that comes in a gallon jug. I don't know. And I would steal from him all the time, and I'd be like, I got some fucking moonshine. He would date it 86, 87, 90, and I would take it and oh, that shit was so awesome. God bless him. But he would work so hard to keep the steam in so he can fill a bottle. Okay, I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry. I'm done.
That's okay. Paul was kind of just hanging out, going, okay, we've got
it's 3 a.m. over here.
Oh my goodness.
But over there, we would do the same thing over there. No, right?
Yeah.
And you where again?
What?
And you are where again?
Setúbal. It's in the Lisbon metropolitan area. It's a harbor town, fisherman town. Our religious festival is to Santa Isabel, patron saint of fishermen, and it's in August.
Okay, cool.
In
Well, what
fact,
is
I
the-
had sardines today,
Mm.
and I'm gonna have bream tomorrow.
Did you get the sardines off the boat, or are they fresh?
Nowadays, it's the Spaniards that fish them.
Ah,
Those damn Spaniards.
They are our sworn enemies.
and the salted cod?
Not well. Now it's the summer. We don't we did last year in the summer.
we
We have
do
all the
that.
fresh fish.
We did that over here. I
That's
still
a
remember.
Portuguese
I
duck.
you're right. Here's
Supposedly.
the memory. So I used to do he died. God bless his soul. But my uncle was an electrician, and so it's like, hey, come on, we'll do electrician. So he taught me electricity and the stuff
Is
like
this
that.
the story of how he died?
No, fuck
Okay.
you. Anyways, so he was live and breathing when we did this. So we went to hook up a they got a new boiler and so we hook it up. So to go behind the boiler, so a lot of people who come from the old country here, they get a beautiful house, and they do the whole house beautifully. White. This place had white carpets, white furniture, white whatever, but they lived in the basement. And in the basement, they built a whole fucking. They lived down there because you don't want to dirty. Because when you go upstairs, it's like, oh, I have. When they go upstairs, it's that 5% better burger. But in real life, you live downstairs, right? So in downstairs, they live in the basement. So I'm not going to go into it, anyways. So when you get to the boiler, they had racks set up with cod they salted, and they were drying out next to the boiler.
Sure, that
So
smelled
yeah,
great.
over here, salted cod is a big thing. I don't know why I went there. Whatever she said brought back a memory of us freaking wiring up a boiler with salted cod everywhere. But anyways, okay, I'm done now. Okay, I don't know.
You're serving me cod and it's not beer battered and deep fried with
No,
chips.
it was
Oh,
just
God,
salted
I'm out.
cod
Fish
hanging
and
on a
chips,
fucking.
malt vinegar. Let's go.
It was just they went out.
That's
They
the
had a
English
boat.
side of
They
me.
had the card, and they brought it home, and they sliced it up and they salted it, and that's the thing. That's the thing about when I was growing up. I couldn't understand. These people would work all their fucking lives here to get a beautiful house, and they get the house, and they would make it beautiful inside. But they never enjoyed it because they all went into the basement and lived like they did when they were in the old country.
Oh, they used to put the older people, because when I was younger, my mom we'd go visit them. They would have plastic all over their furniture,
Yes.
to keep it nice. Like you couldn't sit on it or anything because you didn't want to dirty it. It's for when guests
They
come
went to the
over.
parlor. Let's go
And
to
then
my
you had
parlor. Let's go
plastic
to the
runners
parlor.
going through the house so you wouldn't get the carpet dirty.
Yeah,
Going,
they can't,
Getting things to have them, not to enjoy them.
right.
Like,
In the old country, they had crap. Okay, I'm not saying nothing. My parents were still tell me about wood floor. Years ago. I'm talking about the 40s and the whatever, and they had dirt floors, and they had this and that thing. So people come over here, and they work like a dog to have a beautiful house, and they would make the whole house beautiful, but then they would go downstairs and live like they did, like they knew as a child. So when you went over their house, they showed off everything. It was white carpets, white furniture. I still remember when this place had a fucking statue of a white dog. Everything was fucking white because for them that was, oh, look at me, I'm big. But then when we went downstairs to hook up their furnace, they lived downstairs. I mean, beds and fucking kitchen and everything was downstairs. I never understood that. you know, and yeah, he had a boat. It was in the driveway, a beautiful boat. And he went out. I guess he would pull his own fish, but he still lived in a basement. I don't understand that. I never understood that.
That's about a sense of pride in those things that you've achieved, and then like kind of leaving them on display instead of using them. You know, that's strange.
Why have that pride if you never touch that carpet? If you
I don't know why this like draws a comparison to me, but I just thought of it. Like I shared this meme with my sister while she was like going nuts scrubbing her house before Thanksgiving, and it said when you go to your relative's house for Thanksgiving this year, compliment their baseboards because it's what they've been scrubbing all week long. Like, why would you have your family over, right? People who know you and won't judge you and are there for fellowship, and you think that not having a spot on your baseboard is gonna fucking matter. It's not. Right? Like, but it's one of those things where it's like you work hard for these things, you want them to be presented in the vision that you present them in, knowing full well that nobody's going to look at it the same way you look at it.
But I also think it's a generational thing because, you know, okay, my mom's 85. I'm 61. People were coming to my house and it wasn't picked up and you just dropped by. Well, we're living. This is where we live. Living is taking place here. But she wants everything in its place all the time, always picked up, always this, just in case that person comes over. You have to have a clean house. And I think it's kind of like, you know, that's what their parents did. That's what their parents did or whatever. So that was kind of ingrained in her that, you know, you need to keep a clean house just in case company comes over. You know, I'm like going, company is coming to see you, not your house. You're not going to go inspect your baseboards or your crown molding to see if there's cobwebs.
Nobody gives a flying fuck. And if they do,
I'm not saying that the house has to be trashed, but you know, if somebody was coming over and I'm doing the laundry and folding laundry and putting it away, that's just part of living, you know.
You're right about it being generational, and I think a lot of it has to do with the change in the way things are now as far as like career fields, right? This is like if in the 60s you went to your neighbor's house, right? All of the women that were there were housewives.
Yes.
And all of those women cooked and cleaned all day long.
Yes.
And all of those other women were coming to your house to see how you cooked and cleaned. Yes. Then it was a level of like expectation socially. It was like my mother, when we were little, was better homes and gardens mom. Like everything in its place. Everything has to be spick and span. Did you dust your room today? Not did you dust your room this week? Did you dust your room today? Like it would come in with the white glove, all that shit. When my little sister turned 7 years old, my mother went back to work and started working as a secretary in a hospital. And like we started eating McDonald's for dinner because she wasn't home to cook. And then it was like on the weekends, all right, as long as your laundry's folded and put away, we're fine. It was a complete different 180. But when my mother had the old school mentality that she was a housewife and her job was to not only keep, you know, us all on our path and in our lane, it was also to keep that house running in the best condition that she possibly could.
That was her job.
She took that job seriously.
Right. That was her job. And but you get when you go outside and get another job, everything goes sideways. I mean, a house is to be lived in. I'm not saying like it's to be trashed or whatever, but it's to be lived in.
Not a hoarder's place.
Right, exactly. So if somebody comes over your house, hey, how you doing? Okay, you got a cobweb here, you got a dust here, whatever. Hey, you came to my house, but don't fucking judge me. This is a house to be lived in.
Yeah.
It's not a palace. If you want a palace, I'll live in the basement and everything's fucking white. You know, it's a palace. This is not a palace. This is where we live. Fuck, you know, we're gonna make people make mess. Done. You know, there it goes.
One thing that when I moved out, my mom wanted to fill every nook and cranny of my house with the same type of things that she has always had. So if there was an empty space, it needed to have a vase or a special glass
Or a statue of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Dude, I
Or
don't
a
want
rooster.
anything here. I like this empty.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good mother, though.
My mother was one of those, was definitely a knick-knack lady for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And when I had my own place, I had a couple of statues or like action figures displayed in my basement. It's like different, nicer stuff, but still in the nerd sphere stuff. And I caught hell from my mother, and I had to explain to her that it was the same thing as her Boyd's Bears and her
Oh, there you
Humbles and her Precious Moments, right? It's like, just because it's not porcelain and doesn't look like an angel doesn't mean it's not worth having in my life, Mom.
Yep.
Just settle down on that shit.
Yeah, I remember my mom. I don't even remember the book, but I got a signed book from my dad. My parents had been divorced for a long time, and avid reader. My dad and I collect books. And he stood in line somewhere in some state and got a book signed for me and sent it to me for my birthday. My mom had a cow. It's like, can he give you something that you really need or something? And I'm like,
Can he get you something nice? Like, oh no, I think he got me something I enjoy.
no, I think he got me something that I really liked. Okay.
Right.
Because she just didn't she doesn't read, she doesn't like books, she doesn't, it wasn't something that would fit in her little world. And it's like, well,
Yeah,
sorry.
I get but why do you need all those books? Have you read all those books? Well, if you've read them, why don't you throw them out?
Yeah.
No. Some of my books are worth a
They
lot
don't
of
get it.
money.
Yeah, but it's not even the worth. It's not even the monetary aspect.
No,
Why
I
should
know,
I-
but I'm not going to
why
throw
should I
away
get rid
a
of the books?
$400 book.
My mother, I love her.
And I'm not talking about comics.
She threw all of my hockey cards from the 60s and 70s. She couldn't understand why I want them. 60s and 70s hockey cards. I mean, please, Bobby, you're all freaking, she threw them out. Why do you want these? Well, it's too late now.
I was very lucky that my mother fostered my love of collecting.
No.
It started with the action figures because me and my brother would, it was easy for her to buy us one for us to add to our collection because it was a shared collection of things. And eventually we veered off in different lanes of collecting, but, baseball cards and comics and pogs and things of that nature. And it was always something different, but my mother really understood that that's something that me and my brother were both into. So it's a little bit different, but when I moved out and my father wanted to make space, he did not throw away my stuff.
You're lucky.
But he did put it in a storage unit and give me a bill for it. I guess I better do something with this.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah.
He's like,
I
I
would
paid
love to have
the
had my
first
dad-
month. You better get it
all
out of
yours.
there.
I would love to have had my dad's collection that hit like his mom threw out. Comic books.
It's just proof that moms suck.
I didn't have it when I didn't have a collection with my parents.
A bunch of dumb moms out there throwing away good stuff.
I had records from like singers from the 50s and the 60s from my father's collection. I never had a comic book from my father's collection.
Just imagine if you were the Beastie Boys and your mom threw away your best porno mag.
Oh no.
That's awful.
Yep. My parents threw out a bunch of CDs. And I had to rescue a few of them. Of course, their music taste is not that good, so I didn't end up saving all of them.
They're good. It's just not your freaking collection.
My dad was an immigrant in Germany for 6 months, and he brought with him a newfound love for the works of band leader James Last. Yeah, imagine when a German discovers. When a German conductor specialized in waltzes discovers Latin music.
Okay. All right.
All right, you guys. I need to get some sleep.
Yeah.
You don't need any sleep.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
What? You giving me a reason to stay up?
I'm just playing with books.
What do you
Getting
got?
some, huh?
You're playing with books. What do you got? Oh, I love that. I just got that cover.
Yeah, just nice.
It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah, I got it at a really good price. It's mid-grade. I don't care.
Mine too.
You know, I just got some. I'm getting some Erie magazines
Okay, I'm gonna put you up there.
tomorrow. Some Frazetta Erie.
Hold on. There we go.
Oh,
How do you get in the prison? How are you gonna get those?
I won some auctions on Shortbox.
I love that cover. I just
I think
picked that
that's
up.
right. Bernie Wrightson, love his covers.
Oh yeah.
And because it's black and there's really no ticks,
Mine have sticks.
there is a couple. I mean, they could be pressed out, but they're not like really broken color. I've seen some that have really been bad.
So
You know?
would you ever get that graded?
Oh no. Why am I going to spend another $50 to have it fucker graded? No,
Get that
I think
fucker
it's a
graded.
waste of money.
Get that fucker graded.
Nope.
No, I don't grade books. It's the worst.
No, I think he looks great raw.
Oh,
Raw.
and you can open it up and you can see what's inside.
I
Man,
can touch it. I can smell it.
you can feel it inside of your
Sexual.
bones.
Just I picked up a little bit of House Mysteries. Like I said, I won some short box auctions on some Erie magazines from Frazetta magazines. So with Frazetta covers. So they'll be coming in. I've got some. I was on Cat Loves Comics on Instagram and won some horror from her, Bronze Age horror, because I've gone down this rabbit hole.
Okay, so yeah, that's my rabbit hole too. So when you said you went on a channel, how do you win those?
It's like an auction, or it's not like an auction. It's she has her books and she's asking, okay, I've got this. This is a $5, $10. She puts it in a little stand, or she had a whole set of. I would have taken the Spectre for like $225, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money this week. I had bills to pay, so bills come first.
Who's this Bill guy anyway? Why does he keep asking me for
So, but she's.
I don't respect my bills. I call them William.
She's having a huge Batman Gold and Silver Age, not this weekend, but next weekend live show.
Who is this?
Cat Loves Comics on Instagram. So I'm hoping to fill some holes in some runs, some bat runs. I know I won't be a completist because there's no way I'm going to get like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a lot of things.
Oh, don't put limits on your life. You never know.
Well, if I win a lottery, then
Well, there you go.
Do you play the lottery?
I want to win a lottery, but I don't play.
You're never going to win.
Play to win.
I know, but right now every dollar counts. So
Start learning how to count
I'm
cards.
right there with you.
So, but yeah, I mean, I do have like, I think 40 books left to get from Batman to have a full run from 200 on up. And
That's admirable. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a good place to start.
Well, no, I have a full run from 300 to, and then on Detective, I have a full run from 400 on up. I have about 50 or 60 books left from the 300s.
Nice.
I have books in that are earlier than that. I mean, my earliest Batman is a 0.5. It was Batman 80.
Okay.
It was to me, it was raw. I don't care. I'm not getting rid of it.
Okay, so to fill those runs, you don't mind of the condition?
Depends.
At least complete.
I want them complete. I don't want them detached. No splits in the spine. no water damage. But if they're 2.5, especially on some of the harder books to get, then yeah. I mean, I'm looking at I think it's one of the first Martian Manhunter House of Mystery books. You know, right now it's a 6.0 at 149, and I'm really thinking about picking it up. It's a decent price, and I don't usually buy slabs. I have about 33 slabs, 35 slabs, you know, and I have close to 10K comics. So, and I need to pare that down to just, you know, figure out and finish some Silver Age Teen Titan runs, Silver Age Green Lanterns. So, DC girl.
That's what you are.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I appreciate Drew. Thanks for hopping on early. I appreciate it.
Oh man, I had fun tonight. I wouldn't do anything else.
Really? You had fun with me?
Yeah, I always have fun with you, Tony.
Sweet.
Nice to meet you, Drew.
Hey, nice to finally be on a stream with you. I'm sorry, I only know you as Batmite.
I'm Doreen.
Doreen. Okay.
Yeah.
I know Don said it earlier, and I was like, "What's that word?
Yeah.
What's that word? That's her name."
Doreen.
Yeah.
Little girl from Cali.
Polu.
I don't think I've ever
met Doreen.
We've been together. If not the last time, it was the previous time.
On this show?
Yes.
I bring people together.
You're a bridge builder.
You know, okay. I love you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That was fun, bud.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody hopping on, watching. I got 5 people watching right now. Appreciate it. Probably 4 people, 3 here. Anyways, thank you. I go on here live, nothing, and I appreciate everybody who watches who hops on. I really do.
I probably will not be here next Thursday because I do have to work.
No, hey, you do what you have to do, but I appreciate you.
Yeah, because I have Monday off for the Vesta. Sunday, Monday off.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
You know, all my girlfriends say he'll break my heart, but they don't understand. No, they don't.